Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
2010. Junior sends a high drive.
Would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a
Junior launches a solo ship.
leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo.
Junior launches a solo ship.
While we relax and cruise at tropical waters, you can attend
Juniors.
Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Russ, and more. We're still trying to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per cover.
Here's a high fly ball off of the bat of Jimenez that's carrying well.
Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours 1-833-347-7678. Whether you're
Since 2007, Vlad Jr. sends a high drive to deep center field. Rodriguez to Vlad Jr. launches a solo ship.
Store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. We're a community, Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
GMC's 0% event is on now. Get 0% financing on all remaining 2025 GMC models on limited terms, like the 2025 Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab at 0% financing for 84 months, the 2025 Terrain Elevation All-Wheel Drive at 0% financing for 60 months, and the 2025 Canyon at 0% financing for 36 months. No matter what you need, there's a GMC for you. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Here's a high fly ball off of the bat of Jimenez that's carrying well. It's the 9-hitter, Andres Jimenez, of all people, moving Toronto the swing that desperately needed.
On Sports 1440.
Since 2010, Vlad Jr. sends a high drive to deep center field. Rodriguez, let's go. First pitch of the fifth. Vlad Jr. launches a solo ship.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Marshall makes a high-line drive to right field. Rodriguez launches a goal. 2 runs will score. Marshall with a double. The Blue Jays offenses come to life. A 5-run third.
A terrific Thursday afternoon. I can't believe it's Thursday already, man. This week is flying by. You got to love the long weekends on a Monday. It just seems to fly right by. How are you? Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Oilers Nation. YouTube, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for getting involved in the show. You can always text us, 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And it's the Daily Grand, Thursday, October 16th. Your chance to win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Oh, how awesome would that be? I can tell you right now, I'd have a lot of fun with that. Would have a lot of fun with that if we win. So get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. I just want to win it once just to talk about the fact I got $1,000 a day. It'd be quite nice. Very nice. Man, we got a loaded show. It is busy. There is lots going on. Of course, the Oilers in action tonight. Big Save Dave. I don't know if they really call him that anymore, but Dave Rittich will get the start tonight because Ilya Sorokin is off to a tough start in goal, really in goal. You look at the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders are out-shooting teams 70-61, 5-on-5, but they're getting outscored 9-5. And it's not even because they're giving up huge chances. Sorokin just hasn't been at the level that he's used to. He's 0-3. He's got an .854 save percentage and a 4.18 goals against average. So he'll get the night off. Now, Dave Rittich is in his career 5-4-1 with a .920 save percentage and .249 goals against. But K-Maz asked me after I tweeted that out, well, what's his record since the celebration? Remember that? That was in, I think it was 22. It might have been even 21. And so, they win in a shootout, and Rittich has the celebration, which I didn't think was that crazy. But, man, I love the rivalry. People got all fired up about it. The next game, the Oilers actually scored 6 goals on him. And, they did the old Michael Jordan, and I took that personally, and that's what they did. And so since then, Rittich is 1-3 with an .890 save percentage and a 3.12 goals against. So think about what he was before. Prior to that, he was 4-1-1. Had the big shootout celebration, and since then the Oilers are like, I don't think so. So we'll see what happens tonight for the Oilers. Stuart Skinner, of course, will get the start fresh off his first shutout of the season. His career high is 3 shutouts in a year, so he's off to a good start. Also, tonight, Stuart Skinner could win his 100th game as a member of the Oilers. And if he does, he will be the 3rd fastest goalie in franchise history to 100 victories. So, pretty impressive for Stu Skinner, despite everybody. Well, not everybody, but despite some people being like, hey, Skinner can be more consistent. Yeah, sure. It's a pretty young goalie. Lots of guys can be more consistent, and Skinner's off to a good start, right? In 124 minutes and 55 seconds, he's played really well. The other 5 seconds, had a brain fart. But if you look at it, you'll take the 124.55 all day long. At least I would think a sane analyst would look at that and say, hey, that's pretty good. So Skinner, by the way, if you're wondering who are the guys ahead of him, not surprising. Grant Fuhr. Now tonight will be Skinner's 171st start. Grant Fuhr reached 100 wins in his 168th start. And Andy Moog did it in 149 starts. Now, Moog was kind of the backup back then. And a lot of times he got the a little bit easier games. But still, Andy Moog was really good for the Oilers early on. So he did it in 149 starts, Fuhr 168. And Skinner, if he wins tonight, will be in 171. So pretty impressive. He would also become the 6th Oiler goaltender with 100 career wins. He will pass Cam Talbot this season, who is currently 5th with 104. Skinner would have to have, trying to think, as a goalie, what are the most wins in a season? Like Skinner would have to win like 45 games. So I don't think that that's going to happen, right? To then catch 4th place on the list. But, he resigns a contract with Edmonton. He would have a good chance to keep moving up that list for the Edmonton Oilers. On the show today, Landon Ferraro will be by. We got Andrew Gross from Newsday. We'll talk about the Islanders, the youngster Schaefer. Watch Schaefer tonight, man. That guy can really skate. For a young defenseman, he's had a really good start to his NHL career. And what a thrilling start. So his first NHL game, he gets to play against Crosby. Oh, and Evgeny Malkin, just for fun. His second NHL game, Alex Ovechkin. And then he played the Jets. Not bad, right? Connor Halley, some good guy. And now tonight it's Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So you think about it, just in his first 4 games, how many Hall of Famers he's played against. You're an 18-year-old kid. Like last year, you were a young fan, and he played for the Erie Otters. Now, he's a defenseman, so he probably looked up for maybe other guys other than just McDavid. But still, you get to play Crosby, Ovechkin, and McDavid in 3 of your first 4 games. Nerve-wracking, exciting all at the same time. And he's playing 23 minutes a night. And he's +1, 5-on-5, 4 goals for, 3 goals against. It's pretty solid. Really solid, in fact. So the Islanders have actually only scored 1 goal 5-on-5 with him off the ice, which is rather interesting. Through the first 3 games, he's got 3 points, including a power play. You watch him playing with Scott Mayfield on the top pair for the New York Islanders. The Islanders right now, their penalty kill, 70%. It's not ideal. The Oilers' power play, it's good, 22.2%. They haven't had a ton of chances. They had none last game. And their penalty kill, which they wanted to have a good start, has had a good start. It's at 88.9% early on this season. So that is a thumbs up. Remember how bad they were last year? Well, you probably don't because it was a nightmare. The first 15 games, it was awful. They allowed 7 goals on their first 15 power plays against. 7-15. Oh, brutal. 56%. That was not very good. Speck will be by. He'll join us from New York City. We also got the pregame show coming up with Walks. Colin Livingston, he's a little bit later in the Cantor Grayson Report today in the 5 o'clock hour. We also got Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning, and Stephen Beasley. We got a special guest who will join us in studio today for Thirsty Thursday. So you might want to pay attention for that. Oilers lines, if you missed it, it's kind of what they ended with last game. You're going to have McDavid with Tomasic and Mangiapane. Draisaitl with Nugent Hopkins and Roslovic. Frederick centering Kapanen, Podkolzin. Henrique with the youngsters, Savoy and Howard. On defense, it's Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse Stetcher, Kulak, Emberson, and Stu Skinner will start in goal. The Islanders will counter with Drouin, Horvat, and Heineman. Barzell between Palmieri and Duclair. Pajot with Shabanoff and Lee. Cizikas, Holmstrom, and McLean on the fourth line. As I mentioned, Schaefer's with Mayfield, Pellica, and Pollock. And then Romanoff and Tony DeAngelo and Dave Rittich gets the start in goal. The Islanders are 0-3 to start the season. And the Oilers are just looking to, hey, they said it. Their focus was get a good start. They didn't play very well outside of Stuart Skinner on Tuesday night. And that's a good thing. They won, right? Some days you need your forward to win you a game. Some days your team defense, like they did against Vancouver, I think, won them the game. Calvin Pickard didn't even have to face a high danger chance. And then some games you need your goalie to win. So that's what happened on Tuesday. And I would think that those skaters will be like, all right, let's try to help out your goalie a little bit tonight. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, now's the time to get Sorokin while stock's low. Again, you have to free up over $8 million. So any trade proposal, if you have one, great. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, cap-wise and player-wise, why the Islanders would look to do it. That's what you got to do. Hey, Greg's, is Wallman playing tonight? It does not look like Jake Wallman is playing tonight. So they didn't have a morning skate today, so I guess there's a chance. But he wasn't skating yesterday with the main guys, so I guess there's always a chance. But they didn't look like it yesterday, and you know what? Now, would he come back and play both games of a back-to-back? That'd be the interesting one for me. Now, they are afternoon games, and everybody says, lots of players say the back-to-back afternoons are like the best, right? Because they're done, you travel, you get into the next city, you're still home, you're in bed, 10 o'clock, you're rested, no morning skate, you get up, you have breakfast, boom, you're playing. It's kind of fun, but we'll see. Also, what about the Toronto Blue Jays, baby? Now, let's be honest. You're watching the game last night. Rodriguez hits a 2-run shot in the bottom of the first, and you're probably like, oh, here we go again. Jays can't hit. Mariners are hitting. It's good night, Irene. Some of you, early on, be honest, you probably weren't that overly confident early on. But how things changed. And who would have thunk it, Connor Halley, that a young not young, but Jimenez would start the offensive onslaught with a 2-run home run?
Wouldn't have been me. That's for sure. And I know in his past, he hit 15, hit 17 a few years ago, not with the Blue Jays, had only 7 this year, I believe. But when he hit that, Gregor, I looked at Ashley and said, this could be a change. This could swing the momentum. He's getting on board, hitting a 2-run shot to tie it up here. Let's see how it plays out. I did not foresee them scoring 11 more runs and doing it in the fashion in which they did. But good on Shane Bieber, rocky start, found his game, gave them 6 innings, only allowing 2 runs. You're going to take that with 8 Ks. And the rest of the bats came alive. And now Jays fans just hoping that can carry over into tonight's game as well.
Yeah, I really think for Bieber, it's like one bad pitch, right? Like really one bad pitch. The rest of his outing was pretty solid. He never really seemed to be in that much trouble. And so that was key. Fisher comes in, gives up a leadoff single, then boom, that's it. Fluharty again pitched an inning, not much. Obviously, Rodriguez. Now, I don't think they're going to use him a ton in close games. And, he gave up 2 solo shots, not ideal. But at that point, it was kind of irrelevant. But you look at the Jays. So not only did Jimenez get going, George Springer continues to hit. Vladdy Guerrero goes 4 for 4, including a straightaway center field home run. You had Kirk with an opposite field 3-run shot, and Addison Barger, who didn't have a hit. I know it was in the 9th inning, but I think that home run for Barger, like imagine you're relieved, you're relaxed, you run around the bases. Who knows what it means? But man, tonight, all of a sudden, there is a lot more excitement going into that game. And the Jays batters, they woke up. And the Jays, that's what they've done a lot. They've been able to get a lot of runs on teams. I think that was the 27th time this year that they scored 5 runs or more in an inning. So that's impressive. Now, it's only one game, but man, they had 18 hits. There's lots of guys feeling good about themselves. I think Santander and Straw were the only guys who had 2 at-bats who didn't get a hit. So, that's all right. But that was a solid performance. Now, though, it's Scherzer. We haven't seen him in the postseason. We haven't seen him in a while. I guess he'll be rested, but I don't know. Where do you come out? What are you feeling about Mad Max tonight?
I'm a little nervous. Obviously he wasn't in that Yankees series for a reason. The Jays wanted to go elsewhere, and now he gets his chance. But I probably say any outcome wouldn't surprise me. If he goes out there and gives you, 3, 4, 5 strong innings, you're like, okay, that's Max Scherzer. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a world champion. Of course he's not going to get rattled. Or he could give up a few runs and I'd say, okay, yeah, well, that was kind of the trending of direction he was in this season. So it's not too much of a surprise. So I'm hoping he's locked in, hoping he's going to be good to go here. And I just curious what the usage, how long he stays in the game, how long they keep him in there. And, hey, if the Jays score 13 runs again, it won't matter. I think I saw the statistic was the Mariners were 0-76 when they allow 13 runs at home. So, yeah, that could be the key to victory. But I'm not a huge believer in momentum, but confidence game to game, I do like. So, and I will agree with you, Gregor. I think, even though the home run did come late in the game, that's massive. Just to have the vibes, okay, I can do this. Mm-hmm. I got it late. It was the 13th run, whatever. For him personally, the belief in between the years, I think that's massive.
Oh, it's huge. No question about it. Hey, guys, wouldn't a Sorokin contract or trade work out more at the deadline? Well, now keep in mind, guys, Ilya Sorokin has the no movement clause. We know that the Russian players love playing in New York. And he's under contract until 2032. He's got 6 more seasons after this. This is like year 2 of his contract. And they're like, who do they have? So if you're trading him, then you have to be giving them Skinner, number one. And then you're going to have to give out, he makes $8.25 million. You got to move out a lot of money. Because remember, he would, even if they retain half or whatever, which they're not going to, are they going to retain half on that long? I don't think so. So it's a pretty significant cap hit to take on for the Edmonton Oilers. And hey, if you can do it, great. But what's the trade that makes it worthwhile for the New York Islanders? It's always a guy who's under contract for that long. You have to ask yourself, what's realistic? If you have one, let me know. 833-401-1440. Guys, Barger's home run was also an absolute nuke. Exactly. What was it, 414 feet? I think something like that. It was a bomb, and it was good. Hey, guys, the plan has got to be go to Max and Bassett, etc., to give you 7. Well, I think the plan is Max Scherzer to go as long as he can, but you're right. They do have Bassett out of the bullpen. They have Lauer out of the bullpen if they need guys to go a little bit longer, for sure. You don't view it as a bullpen start because Max Scherzer has known he's going to be the starter, but it might turn into that. It's a fair point. And hey, we saw what they did in Game 4 with the bullpen start against the Yankees. It was pretty darn effective. But I think ideally, a bullpen start is 1 or 2 innings a guy, right? I don't think their plan is for Max Scherzer to only go 1 or 2 innings. I think they're hoping he can go more than that. So we'll see. We'll get to the orders, the Jays, and much, much more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Landon Ferraro is next.
I'm Gene Principe for Legacy Heating and Cooling. If you need a furnace this Halloween, it'd be a grave mistake not to call Legacy
Call Legacy.
Need repair? Revampire your furnace just.
Call Legacy.
Legacy has a skeleton of furnaces in stock.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Plus no interest and no prints of payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling. When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Fall into savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025s like the Sierra Half-Ton, Sierra HD, even the Yukons. Get 0% on all 2025s. Plus, get up to 84 months on the GMC Sierra Half-Ton Crew Cab. But like the Leaves, these deals won't last long. Get into Wolf GMC Buick now. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
You've probably heard the term supply and demand. Something is needed and someone supplies it. We're GS Construction, and we're in the supply and demand business with you. Edmonton and the surrounding area continue to grow. Infrastructure has to be continually replaced and upgraded to keep up with demand. You see it with new buildings and new roads, but what about below ground, where all sorts of pipes bring you water and take wastewater away? That's where we come in. For more on what we do, go to gsconstruction.ca.
As members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel your life affordably, reliably, and safely. Across the province, natural gas keeps Albertans warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. For more information on the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and its members, or to learn more about how natural gas fuels your community, please visit us at fedgas.com. That's fedgas.com.
I've been job hunting for months, but I don't have the skills for the jobs I want. I've been job hunting for months, and with the help of Work First Alberta, I got hired.
Work First Alberta can help you change your story. It connects job seekers with training and resources to find meaningful employment, and it can help employers find qualified candidates. Learn how you can change your story at workfirstalberta.ca. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.222, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. It's actually a really nice October day out there today, getting up to like 12, 14 degrees. It's nice. Got the kids. Going to put them through the paces tonight, Con Man. A little dryland training. Very much looking forward to it at Seven Hills. So we'll see how their cardio is today for the youngsters, U13. It'll be fun. Maybe mix in a beep test, which everybody loves.
That's how championships are won.
Buddy, the beep test is unreal. Oh, remember the beep test as a kid? Oh, God, it was like, it starts off like so awesome. And then quickly erodes into like, God, this is hard. But I remember like the first time I did a beep test, like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, do this all day long. And then all of a sudden it's a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker. And then you're like, ooh, mama. But man, we used to do that all the time and it makes a big difference. So beep test, here we come. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. Any brand, any type, they got it. They got it all. So you can check it out at goauto.ca for the best selection on vehicles. As we are joined by Landon Farrar, former NHLer, now, of course, pre- and post-game host here on Sports 1440, does a lot of other media gigs in our show every Thursday. Landon, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. How's it going over there?
Well, it's pretty good. The Oilers are off. They wanted a good start, and through 3 games, it's been a good start. They got 5 out of a possible 6 points. And really, outside of 1 5-second gaffe, I think they played, pretty well. Their goaltender, obviously, I think, stolen the game on Tuesday night in New York. So as a player, a former player, like when you know your goalie wins you a game, is there like just an inherent, okay, we come out better, or does it not always work that way? Like I'm in theory, I'm expecting the Oilers skaters to be better tonight. I'm not sure it's that easy though.
Yeah, I agree with that form of thought on it. Is you know that he bailed you out, and that's fine. Like you're going to need your goalie to do that from time to time, but you don't want to make him have to do that night in and night out. And this Oiler team has a deep enough and a stacked enough top of the lineup that shouldn't be the case. And they'll want to get back rolling, not even to thank him or try and give him a lesser workload tonight, but it's more of like, we have so much more to offer. We don't need to rely just on the goalie. He's going to be there when we need him to, but we got to make sure that we're playing better in front of him and giving ourselves a better chance to get to a point where you don't want to see them back off the pedal, but at the same time where you can get into like the real just going through the game. We've got the lead. Now we run our 4 lines. We start playing that type of system to where you can feel good about playing with a lead.
Yeah, well, the Oilers in their first 2, like it's funny how it just shows you how from night to night it's hard. Vancouver, the Edmonton Oilers, that was like a perfect defensive game. They literally didn't give up a high danger chance. To me, that's a pretty good game to play defensively. And then against the Rangers, they gave up 10 high danger chances and their goalie bailed them out. And so that's why you're a team. You're going to need different things. But for the Oilers, like I thought, like their outlet passing wasn't very crisp in that game. And it seemed to start there. Like that, the Oilers, a lot of their success comes off of the rush and, even maintaining offensive zone time. But I do want to ask you, Landon, about the fact that, so I crunched the numbers because I've had somebody try to tell me that, and I should actually read the quote because it's so ridiculous that because to me, the Edmonton Oilers, the issue I have with them 5-on-5 is they don't create enough traffic in front. And the numbers back it up that if you have a clear sight, and this is from Clear Sight Analytics. So if you have a clear sighted shot outside the slot, it goes in at 1.3% of the time. If it's the same shot with one defensive screen, it's 10.5. If it's a layered screen, which is multiple bodies, it's 13.5. So it's a pretty significant difference. Then you go to, screen one-timers have a 34% chance of scoring. Screen deflection, 20% chance. A slot area screen, 29.5%. But a clear sight shot in the slot has a 3.8% chance of scoring. It's obvious that screens and layered screens increase it because the Oilers they lead the league in offensive possession time, but they're dead last in shooting percentage. They're dead last in 5-on-5 goals. And I watch the games they don't have a lot of traffic. It's a team that, and guys got to do it, but they didn't do it last year very much outside of Hyman. And so far, I know it's only 3 games, but they need more guys in front and getting proper screens, layered traffic. How can they instill that in their offense?
I think just more of a shot mentality. This Oiler team is really skilled and they can make plays and they make a lot of plays, which is great. You need to be able to do that. But at the same time, to your point, you have to get people to the net. The amount of times that there are shots, but you can see the net front person just move out of the way a couple seconds before because he's trying to get down to the goal line to get that next pass. If there's just more of a shot mentality, a bit more direct to the net, it makes it easier for guys to get in front. It's hard to stand there for an extended period amount of time, right? You have the defenseman boxing you out. You have other people coming through. It's hard to stand your ground for more than a few seconds. But if you know once you gain possession in the offensive zone, okay, there's going to be 1 or 2 passes and then it's coming to the net, basically no matter what. It makes it that much easier for someone on the line. Okay, I'm not really in the play right now. I'll get to the front of the net. At least I'm doing something there. I can provide that screen. I'm there for a rebound that I know that shot's coming right now. And through a lot of last year too, it's a lot of looking for that next pass. How are we going to make the really nice play to have the backdoor tap in, which is great. And they do it. But at the same time, you can simplify the game as you get into the slog of the season and then eventually playoffs. You need to get to the front of the net. It can't just be 1 or 2 guys. It needs to be a part of that team identity for sure.
Well, and Ferraro joins us. You look at the orders and they've switched up the top guys, which I think was inevitable anyway. McDavid and Draisaitl, I think everybody knows the team's better when they play apart for the majority of the time, especially when they don't score if they're playing together. If they're scoring at a high rate, which they've done historically, then I understand it. But the minute they don't start scoring, you're like, well, let's split them up because now at least we've got, 2 of the best players on the ice for a longer period of time. Even though they're not together, they're still pretty dangerous. So what have you thought of Tomasik's game through 3 games? And I actually thought his best game was against the Rangers.
Honestly, I'm a big fan of it so far. The fact that he is a bit of what we were just talking about. He can get to the front of the net. He doesn't accept being pushed out wide while he's trying to gain the zone. He makes that great move last game where he pops it to the middle and then he drives through. He's not afraid to low drive in front of the net. He knows how to position himself and use body position to really create space for himself and get his stick open. I think he's a player that, again, it's a bit different when the player's older coming over, right? He's got years of pro hockey under his belt in Europe. He understands what his attributes are. And now coming over here, it's so easy to try and dumb your game down because now you're in the NHL, you're playing with better players and all of that. But he plays the same way. He's direct. He's hard on the puck. He's heavy on it. I think he's one of the better ads that they've had this offseason. And I think someone that's going to continually take steps as this season goes along. I see him being a really big piece to this team.
Oh, well, you know what? Early on, and the other thing is, he's a bigger body with some skill. And it does matter when all things are even. You get to the playoffs and player A is 220, 6'2", and player B is, 5'11", 190, and they're the same skill set. Player A just has an advantage in certain places of the ice. He just does.
Yeah, it really does. And, with all the rule changes, we understand where the smaller player can be so good in the regular season. But with the way this game is called and handled in the playoffs, things drastically change. You have to be able to stand your ground, stand over pucks, really protect it, fight for space, especially in front of the net, but even on the boards and trying to get off and be able to make a play. He's got good size, he skates well, but the best part of it is he can do all that and he can be hard on a puck, but he can make the one move to get out of it and make the next play. He's got some hands. And again, like I just keep thinking back to the Vancouver game where he could have had a hat-trick in the first period. Yeah, those are nice plays being put into him, but at the same time, that showed like he knows how to find the soft areas on the ice and get himself. He's going to get more accustomed to the play and more comfortable as he gets moving on, I'd say game to game, but really period to period. He's going to keep figuring out, okay, that worked back in Europe. This doesn't work here. I got to make a little tweak here and there. But he's finding his opportunities, and because of it, he's getting a chance to play on the top line.
Landon Ferraro joins us. Oilers in Long Island tonight to take on the Islanders. No Ilya Sorokin, who's off to a tough start. Got like a 4.18 goals against average and an .854 save percentage. So Dave Riddett will get his first start with the Islanders. And in his career, 10 starts, he's 5-4-1 against the Oilers. But ever since he had the shootout celebration that the Oilers didn't like, he's 1-3, and they've lit him up a little bit. Do players, I know guys have a long memory, but would that be discussed? Oh yeah, it's Dave Riddich. Remember when he tried to embarrass us with the celebration? Like, does that continually get brought up?
It gets brought up right away, maybe the first one or two times after, but I don't think it's discussed anymore. I think it is something where you score on them or you get the team win, and no one even really says anything about it, but it's in the back of their minds as well of, well, we got him again, right? Like, it's just that little bit of satisfaction at the end of the night of, you shouldn't have done that. It doesn't matter anymore. It was a while ago, but it's still real fun to make that person pay. And it's amazing how some guys play really well against a certain team or a certain goalie, and goalie against a certain team plays really well. You get, for whatever reason, that style of play just works. And for the Oilers shooting on Rittich, it's sometimes you're not even aiming because, I know he's weak in this spot or that spot. You've played against him enough, and for whatever reason in your own head, you have a little more confidence going into it. You understand that you've had good success of recent play against them, and there's no reason it shouldn't be the same tonight.
What about Howard and Savoy on a line together with Adam Henrique? I think, like, when I look at Howard's minutes played, I think it's probably only a matter of time before they make a move and let him go, just gain lots of ice time and experience in different situations in the American League. But I don't mind Howard and Savoy together. Like, I don't think either one of them is a detriment defensively that they can't play together, and there might be a little juice there.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. They're two guys that skate well. Savoy's already had the year of pro hockey playing in the American League, so he understands it a little bit better of what's going to be coming to him every single night. But at the same time, you have a really secure and solid centerman between them. But you have two guys that are trying to fight for their NHL lives right now and trying to stay in the lineup and keep minutes. Like, it's good to have a couple hungry players, especially young ones. I agree with you that, Howard's probably going to need some time in the American League, and that's not anything against him. You look at basically everyone other than the stars of the league have played a decent amount in the American League. It's a great spot to get real good minutes, start to learn the pro game. There's so many more games. Howard's coming out of NCAA. You're playing basically double the amount of games. It's a lot, and it's a lot to handle in your first year. There's nothing wrong with him, and it's really a benefit to go down and play in every situation. And then you have no idea where the year is going to take you, right? Like, you don't know what injuries are going to happen, how guys are going to be playing. You go down, you make sure that you're ready, and then when you do come back, that you're ready to take that step and really grab a hold of a spot. But putting those two players together, there's some offense there. There's a little bit of grittiness. with Henrique as well, that they can get in on a forecheck and try and create some of that fourth line momentum. It is a big thing when you can have a fourth line that while the other three are sitting on the bench, they see the work that they're putting in and holding them in the offensive zone. Like that gets the big guys buzzing a bit too. Like they're watching guys that are trying to build themselves up have success. Well, okay, if you're watching those two, no offense, but if you're Connor McDavid and you're seeing Savoy and Howard and Henrique working in the offensive zone, like there's no excuse for you not to be able to do that. And it kind of just keeps that fire going from line to line.
Landon Ferraro joins us. Landon, that third line with different senders, like I've really liked Kasperi Kapanen's games of the first three games. Like he's, there's speed, skill. Frederick had a nice pass, goes and shows he can accelerate and scores a goal. That's 2 straight games really by that third line with goals from different center icemen. What do you make of that line and what do you like about it?
Well, the speed's there for sure, right? And we saw when Kapanen got to the Oilers, he was playing basically the same way he is now, with a ton of speed, with some tenacity in his game, with some skill being shown. With him, it's always been, can he do it consistently for a long stretch? And it looks, I know it's early, but it looks like he's found another gear, a bit more direct, a bit harder on every play, not letting one play here or there kind of throw off the rest of the night. He's really kept himself in it. Podkolzin has done what Podkolzin does. He's heavy on pucks. He's really steady in his play. You know exactly what you're going to get out of him every night. And then Frederick, he missed a good amount of time last year, jumps into playoffs, does the best that he can, gets thrown with McDavid and Draisaitl to start, and it looked like a bit much for him to handle. He still has his game to get back a little bit. But the last game, he looks like he's that little bit quicker, and not just with his feet, but with his decision making. Like he's another guy, going back to our first little discussion of getting bodies to the net. Like that's a player that loves to get to the front of the net, wants to play in tight and have those battles and find rebounds. I think it's a really solid line, and the fact that looking at last year's team to this year's team, there's a lot more heaviness in it. There's more guys that can contribute offensively and should be able to do it on a more consistent basis. This to me is a lot deeper of a team, and not only just the couple things I just said, but there's more speed within the forward group. Last year, the Oilers, for them to play fast, they had to make tape-to-tape passes with guys stretched through the zones. Like that's how they picked apart teams, other than McDavid picking up a puck and just taking it. This year there's more guys that can lug the puck through the neutral zone, get into the offensive zone, find space and evade the defenders and try and find that next play. So there's a lot more speed, but at the same time there's some skill, there's some size put into it. I really like how this group's shaping up, and the fact that you still get to drop Hyman into the forward group, you get to drop Wallman into the defensive group. It's shaping to be a really good team.
Oh yeah, there's still, Wallman's not playing, Hyman's not playing, Janmark hasn't played, although, there's some debate of, whether he's going to get in or not. Like I'd look as a fourth line role, he probably fits the bill more than a Ike Howard if I'm looking long term. Now, that being said, Janmark can't just go a season, score 2 goals. Playoff Janmark is fairly valuable player. But I'll be interested to see when he comes back and Wallman's back and Hyman's back. There's some guys that got to come into the line. Noah Phillips not even playing. He scored a goal. So there's some real good competition here. Curtis Lazar is going to be hard pressed to get in this lineup.
It's going to be really tough for him. And with Janmark, if you're looking at Janmark and Howard, kind of it's one or the other, you really got to start looking at what usage are we going to give to Howard and how are we going to use him? How many minutes? It's okay for Janmark to play a much lower minute game and be in and out of the lineup a little bit. Howard, he's young. It's his first year. You want him to be playing every single night and having minutes. So that's where Janmark would probably have, a foot up on Howard. But at the same time, I completely agree. And that was a big issue for the Oilers last year in the regular season, was depth scoring. There was a lot of guys that really struggled. They could make the plays, but they just struggled to finish. And you're going to need that. You've already gone to 2 finals. That's a lot of hockey played. You got to get through this year, like regular season, and then have another long playoff run to get back to where they want to. To have to lean on McDavid and Draisaitl for 24 minutes almost every game, like they did in a lot of games last year, it's a lot to ask. And you need guys down the lineup to be able to relieve some of that pressure. That's why there's really good signings, I think, with Mangiapane. He can score. He's shown that already. And I think as he gets more comfortable as well, I think he's got a better chance of being, that 25 goal scorer than one sitting in the mid-teens. And now you've got Roslovic. Like, they've added really good pieces and the young guys are going. So for a guy like Janmark, the being able to play the lower minutes might help him, but at the same time, he's going to have to find a way to kind of get himself more involved, much like Kapanen is doing in the early part of the year here.
Landon, great stuff, buddy. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a good one.
Yeah, you as well.
There you go. That's Landon Ferraro. We'll take a quick break. And for those of you, we're going to class it up a little bit. Coming up next in Thursday. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights? Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right? Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors, Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Mr. Ruther meets a ghost. 1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Ruda.
To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Mission Island Auctioneering's 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved equipment auctions are this Friday at 9 a.m., featuring a large selection of surplus municipal graders plus backhoes, dozers, wheel loaders, man lifts, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Mission Island Auctioneering's next 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved industrial auctions are this Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
When it comes to sports in Edmonton, Jason Gregor is a must-listen. He brings you the inside scoop with guests from across North America. If it matters in sports, you'll hear it here first. Gregor rolls out weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through on a lovely Thursday afternoon. We got text out of New Thrept. It's actually 16 degrees. No surprise. Great place. So it is beautiful outside today. So enjoy the lovely weather in October. Of course, you got playoff baseball tonight. The Jays back in that series. Oilers in Long Island to take on the Islanders as they look for their third win, 7th point in their first 4 games of the season. It'll be Dave Rittich versus Stuart Skinner. Tonight, it's time now for another edition of Thirsty Thursday, as always brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, 2 locations, Southside on 50th Street, 92nd Ave, and of course, the original location on St. Albert Trail and 118th. The best selection of beer, cocktails, wine, non-alcoholics. They got it all. Check it out at Sherbrooke Liquor. And we're going to class it up a little bit today as we welcome in our regular guest on Thursday, Stephen Bazan from Sherbrooke. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really good, Jason. How are you doing?
Good. Well, so you brought in some guests.
Yeah,
today.
I brought a ringer today.
Yeah, a ringer. I like it.
Yeah. It's like we're getting into whiskey season now.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
It is like prime whiskey season. So I thought, what better way to sort of kick things off with our good friend Bry from he's the national brand ambassador from one of my personal favorite Scotch whiskey distilleries, Glenmorangie. So yeah, Bry is in the studio here with us, and yeah, excited to have our first special guest for Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, and so we're going to be we'll class it up a little bit because I think anybody out there, until you really have a Scotch, you're kind of, I'm not really sure, but when you have a Scotch, there's just something about it. You've seen the commercials, all of a sudden you feel like, you know what, maybe you can grow a beard better. You know, maybe you feel a little bit smarter. I don't know if that's true, Brian, but so today we're doing some Scotch. So I do not consider myself by any stretch like a real Scotch connoisseur. I've gotten into it the last few years. But what are we gonna be trying today?
Yeah, well, thanks very much for having us. We're going to try 3 different expressions from Glenmorangie. 2 of them are part of our core range, we'll call, so ones that will be readily available across the province. And actually, as a special treat for you, we've got our brand new limited edition, A Tale of Spices.
Ooh.
So we're going to start with Glenmorangie Original, 12 years old, then going on to the Nectar 16, and then that super special Tale of Spices.
So now, if we're is there a best way to drink a Scotch?
It's a really good question. We don't tell people how to have a good time. So however you enjoy it, that's up to you. I usually say, give the chance for yourself to get to know the Scotch. So nose it the right way. I know that you should always have your mouth open.
Oh yeah, we can learn, buddy. That's the one thing I know now. I know how to. With the people, like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh no, you got to taste it. You got to taste it through your mouth.
Yeah, have a there. Take your time with it. When you're actually enjoying it in your mouth, that small sip. If it is your first Scotch of the day, I won't judge you if it's not. Yeah. But if it's your first Scotch, that first sip might be quite intense. But the second sip is going to actually give you a lot of beautiful flavours. And the best thing about Scotch whiskey, especially Glenmorangie, the more you drink, the better it tastes.
Now, what's your thoughts on having it with ice?
Yep, as I say, I think when you've actually found out what you actually like about the specific Scotch whiskey, then you'll know what to do with it. Some people enjoy it neat. I personally like to add a little drop or 2 of water, and that's very common in Scotland. But
really? So you just put like just a little bit of water with no ice, just straight water.
Just a little bit of water.
Okay.
Yeah. If you actually go to some of the famous pubs in Glasgow where I'm from, such as the Pot Still.
Well, wait, you're from Scotland?
I am from Scotland.
Jeez, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
I know. So people think Red Deer, but it's but yeah, if you actually go to the pubs, they've actually got taps on the actual bar. So you get your little dram, and then you go up to the bar and you just help yourself to water. So it's actually encouraged instead of looked down upon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's same for on the rocks as well. I know we find with our Glenmorangie range, such a versatile. All our whiskies are quite versatile to have it different ways, and I enjoy them on the rocks as much as what I do neat.
All right, so I'll try the 12-year.
Yeah. So 12 years is a whiskey that you're gonna get very elegant flavors coming from this.
Ooh,
and then all the Glenmorangies here, there's no smoky flavors, and that's a big polarizing flavor for people who can be smoke. None of our Glenmorangies here are smoky at all. More towards that elegant style of Scotch.
Yes, that's there's a tinge, like, because Glenmorangie, so I'm assuming like there's a tinge of orange I find in it.
I find, like, for me personally, and Glen, I always say Glenmo is kind of is that okay, Brian? If I go Glenmo, that's sort of my nickname for the distillery. It's a very fruity, very light style of Scotch. So it's a Highland Scotch whiskey. So that's sort of a trademark of that region in a lot of ways. But I do find that fruitiness comes through a lot. So I'm not sure with like the branding, you'll see a lot of the boxes are like this bright orange color.
Yeah.
They really lean into that. So I think it could be a little bit of power suggestion as well too. But yeah, it does have that, like, a really nice fruity esters to it.
And so when it says 12 years, it just aged in the barrel for 12 years. It just sits in the barrel for 12 years.
Yeah. So the number is going to determine the minimum amount of time it's been in those barrels.
And so what's the difference between 12 and 16? What's happening in those 4 years?
Yeah. So in terms of these two ones, from the 12 original to the Nectar 16, it's not just it's been in the barrel a little bit longer. We actually are the pioneers of a method called cask finishing. And what we do, instead of leaving it in one type of barrel for all its life, for some reason, our whiskey makers decided one time, it's like, this beautiful whiskey we have at 12 years, let's see if we just take it out of that barrel and see what happens when you put it into something else. And the Nectar is a good example of a cask finish. We actually use 4 different types of sweet wine barrel. So it starts off around about 12 years, gets separated into 4 different sweet wine barrels and brought back together again. There's easier ways to make money than whiskey, and there's easier ways to make whiskey than the Nectar 16.
I'd like to know, like, the original guy who had the patience say, you know what? I'm going to brew this, but now we're just not going to drink it for 12 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I know,
that
right?
was, I mean, I'd love to know, like, who was the first guy to say, like, I think this is, not assuming they just age it 6 months, and then they probably, it wasn't just like the first guy said, hey, let's age it 12 years, I would assume.
Yeah, and there's lots of legal regulations that have been developed over time too, in order to call something whiskey in different regions. So there's certain legal regulations and that sort of thing. But it's interesting to see from the Alberta perspective that has a young whiskey sort of business that's up and coming, seeing some of these new distilleries like lay down their whiskey because they have to wait like 3 years at least in order for it to be called whiskey. So just seeing that process firsthand from these new guys that are up and coming, the patience that does go into that.
Well, I would think it'd be hard, because you guys, like, you just haven't, we put our batch in this year and we know it'll be ready in 2037. Right?
Yeah, they've been doing it since.
You've got a new one every time coming out. Right?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting with Glenmorangie is that they don't really work like other distilleries do. Massive 30% of the budget the whiskey makers get to have is just for experiments. So the bosses don't know how to make whiskey. And they have no idea what the whiskey makers are getting up to with that 30%. And then 10 years, 20 years down the line, it's like, hey, give it to the marketing team, go and sell it.
See if they like it. All right. Okay. So now this is the Nectar 16.
Yeah. So in terms of both of these actually are different iterations of previous classics. So the Glenmorangie 12 original, that used to be 10 years old. We added an extra 2 years for more depth, complexity, and vibrancy. And the 16 years old Nectar used to be a whiskey called Nectar d'Or. That's a very much loved single malt Scotch whiskey from Glenmorangie. It used these incredible Sauternes barrels from France that give you a lot of sweetness.
Okay.
The 16 still uses those along with 3 other amazing sweet wine barrels. This is dessert in a glass.
Okay.
It's so good. And I really take, I think I've been taking for granted just the idea of cask finishing. Like, you really go through our whiskey wall at Sherbrooke and you'll see cask finish and different types of barrels in most of the lineup that we have. And for Glenmorangie to be basically the pioneers of that method is really special. So it's what I find really interesting in the Scotch department. So yeah, to have the originators here with us today is pretty
like
pretty special.
It's slightly sweeter, as you said, but obviously when you say dessert in a glass, for anybody out there, like I'm not a big sweet guy. Well, I love eating sweets. I don't like drinking sweets.
Yeah.
And that is not sweet by any stretch of the imagination. But you were bang on what you said earlier about the first sip does hit you a little bit harsher. And then you have the second one, even though it was only 20 seconds later. And I'm like, oh, that's not nearly as much. So I'm assuming your taste buds adapt a little bit.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things when and you're saying that you're relatively new to the world at single malt Scotch.
Yeah.
See, once you find your palate, it makes things a lot easier. And one of the things I would say, like, you're there to judge a whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, the whiskey's not there to
not
judge
everybody's
you.
going to like the same. And it doesn't mean that you're, like we like to joke about it, like you're classier if you can drink it, but it doesn't, like if you drink a 12-year-old or a 16-year-old one, it doesn't make you better of a connoisseur.
And that's it. Once you found your palate in terms of what you're looking for, I must say, in terms of my emotional attachment to Glenmorangie, it was the first distillery I ever wrote tasting notes down for, because I was doing my best to kind of find my palate, and Glenmorangie Original was the one to say, hey, I actually know what this tastes like, and writing it down. And that was a
so
huge
you would
breakthrough.
write it down, really, when you're so for people out there, because a lot of people say, well, I try different stuff, but if you're not taking notes about what you're trying, you're probably not going to remember.
I must say, like, I'm the most boring person to go for a drink with, because everyone else is just enjoying themselves, and then all of a sudden I've got my notepad out taking notes on this thing.
You should see my spreadsheets, my Excel spreadsheets in the computer. Yeah, just the tasting notes.
Like, so you'll look at different things. Like, hey, this Scotch tastes a little bit different. I like this one. Like, I like if you had to pick between the 12 and the 16, which do you like better and why?
I must say I have fallen in love with the Nectar 16.
Okay.
It's I have been very honored and lucky to try so many beautiful whiskies over the years, but I can't help it when I get something that's distinctive, and when I get something that's unique and also beautiful, that's my bag. And I truly believe the 16-year-old Nectar is one of the best whiskies Glenmorangie have ever created.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that's me thinking, they pay me to say it's good, but I must say I was blown away for that specific one.
That's the one, like, of all of the Glenmorangie, this is your go-to.
In terms of the ones that we've got, so of our core range, yeah.
Now, do they ever come in like smaller glass? Like, do they ever come in little small ones?
Oh, Jason, I'm not sure if you saw.
Oh, right in front of you, dude. I did not see that.
Yeah, totally coincidence. Yeah, these little gift packs that just came out that we'll have for Christmas. So that's
perfect to try for some, rather than, because you're like, geez, well, I don't want to waste a whole bit. Not as but I'm like, I'm not sure I'll like it. So this one, you can come in. I just want to see that.
Yeah, these are fantastic.
Be unreal on the golf course, gents. Look at that bad boy. Are you kidding me? Oof.
Yeah, it's just
that'd be a new definition of birdie juice. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, totally. So. Yeah, especially if you're new to a distillery and you just want to test it out. It's like relatively small economic investment into this, totally. and you try the different range and see what your favorite is, and then buy a bigger bottle.
All right. And so what's the last one here?
Yeah, so we couldn't help but cheat you guys. So in terms of that I was telling you about that kind of idea of experimenting. All those things that the whiskey makers are doing, they don't tell anyone. These are the Tale of series is a showcase of that. So we've had these over a number of years, and what we do is we talk about the inspiration behind the whiskey, not just how it's made, but why the whiskey makers decide to do it. This one's been inspired by the idea of like going to like spice markets or whiskey makers tour across the world, getting to go to these amazing places, and they came back and actually said, yeah, let's see if we can try and create an extremely complex whiskey with different types of spicy flavors. Now, not to go too much technical on it, but usually with Glenmorangie Original, the spice part of that is ginger. When it comes to like the Nectar 16 full of gingerbread, the Tale of Spices has actually got complexity because it's different types of spices you're getting. A little bit of cumin, a little bit of paprika, and
really, cumin and paprika,
and a single malt Scotch whiskey, and a little bit of chili chocolate as well.
And these are just notes of the spices. Like, it's not necessarily the spices added directly into the liquid or anything like that. It's just based on the cask maturation, the cask finishes, trying to replicate those notes. And it's this actually a Tale of series was one of the big reasons why I got into the distillery initially. I remember the first one came out in 2020, and it was a Tale of Cake, right?
That's right, yeah.
Tale of Cake. So it's just this bright packaging, like Tale of Cake in big letters on the shelf. Like it's so almost jarring when you look at the whiskey shelf, because it can kind of be like a little
intimidating.
Yeah, a little intimidating. Like a lot of things look the same. It's very serious, but then to see these like bright Glenmo bottles just pop on the shelf, and you're like, does this actually taste like cake? And you read the box and learn the methods that went behind it, and when you taste it, then you get things like the vanilla and all that sort of thing. So it's following along each of these releases has just been like a really exciting part for me at Sherbrooke each year when the new Tale of series comes out.
And they always surprise us every year when we hear about the new one it's like that's never been done before. We come up with that idea and we get to hear the stories behind it.
Well, this one's my favorite for sure. I like the aftertaste. Like when you swish it in your mouth a little bit, you definitely can taste it. It tastes different. for sure. Like and like a complex blend, right? A little bit of cumin in there. I definitely could taste that. This would be out of my 3. This would be my favorite for sure.
Yeah, I would have to agree. This one's pretty special, Bri, for sure.
Like that tastes really good.
Yeah.
Like I can see you sit down and it's got a little bit more of a warmer aftertaste for me.
I know I would not disagree with that. And I think but for certain single malt Scotch whiskies, you'll sometimes have it where, you know what, the nose is the best. And then some people say, oh, it's the palate. The star of the show here is the finish.
Yeah.
Because even once you've actually had the whiskey and you've enjoyed it, it hangs around your mouth and still evolves in there. You don't always get that with single malt.
Yeah.
So, that's an element I think some people miss too, is after you swallow, you really have to pay attention to your palate and what flavors you're getting, because it could be vastly different than when you first take a sip. So if you want to get really heavy into Scotch drinking, the finish is something you should pay attention to.
We got a text. Hey, Greg's, you should do listener draws to come sit and partake of your tastings there. It's actually not a bad idea. Actually, I think you know what, we might have to do that. Because you can just come in here and sit and see what they think.
It's good. Yeah, get people's first impression of stuff too. Yeah,
because everybody's, especially when you know of something coming up. Because I'm sure we have lots of people who are real big Scotch drinkers, so they would really, hey, this would be great.
Yeah,
I want to check because you guys. I know you can go at Sherbrooke. You guys have your special room there. You can rent it out. You can have tastings, different things like that. So
absolutely,
now is the little pack available right now? Sure,
the little pack's available.
The party pack, and of course, obviously the big ones.
Yeah, these ones too. A Tale of Spice, the last one that we tried, is really limited. Like it's really hard to get a hold of that series. So we have a couple bottles left. So if you are interested, probably
trust me, if you're
down.
I would recommend that one. I recommend all of them, but that especially they're limited ones. So you want to get in quicker than later. Just when you go in there, just ask for Tale of.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, where's
this one's a Tale of Spices.
Tale of Spices.
This one's specific.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Not Tale of Cake.
Not Tale of Cake.
Do they have Tale of Cake?
It's done. Like each year.
Okay, so it's a one-off.
It just goes quick.
Now, so like because we had a show last week about the beers of the year that won, but it was a limited edition. You couldn't even buy it. And I'm like, well, what the hell's the point of winning beer of the year if no one can buy it? So let's say this one Scotch of the year. Would you bring it back and let people buy it again?
Can I like a little bit of a secret? All Glenmorangie customers are like doing the secret customer research for us. So you're talking about the Tale of Cake earlier on. What that used was these very unusual Hungarian Tokaj wine barrels. So because people love the Tale of Cake and people were chasing after it, the whiskey maker said, well, why don't we use those Tokaj barrels in one of our core expressions? And this one we just tried, the 16-year-old Nectar, uses those very famous Tokaj barrels on demand from what Glenmorangie fans were looking for.
There you go.
So if you like Tale of
Spices, you
Spices,
do listen to your customers, what you're saying.
We do, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
they keep us in the game. They keep the doors open for us, so we'd like to listen.
No, that's smart. I love it. Well, guys, Bryce, Steve, thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks so much for having us.
Awesome. Check it out at Sherbrooke Liquor, of course, 2 locations, South Side and the OG on St. Albert Trail and 118th Avenue. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It's a game day. The Oilers in action out in New York, set to take on the Islanders. Puck up at 5:30. Pre-game coverage with Gregor, Walker, and Ferraro gets going at 4:30 here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, you got the Rangers and the Leafs. Canadians host the Preds. Seattle taking on the Ottawa Senators, who will be without their captain Brady Tkachuk for up to 8 weeks with injury. The Jets taking on the Flyers. Jackets host the Avs. Bruins Golden Knights. Ducks host the Canes, and the Penguins taking on the Kings. Sticking with hockey right now in the BCHL. Sherwood Park Crusaders trailing Langley 6-3 midway through the second period. Later tonight, Spruce Grove hosting Chilliwack in the tournament out in Abbotsford. In the majors, Blue Jays looking to even up their series with Seattle. That one gets going just at after 6:30. Jays sending Max Scherzer to the mound. Manners capping with Luis Castillo. Earlier on, you'll have the Dodgers and the Brewers meeting in Los Angeles. Dodgers up 2 games to none in that one. And Week 7 of the NFL season kicks off tonight. Bengals Steelers from Cincinnati. That one's set to get going at 6:15. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Andrew Gross to talk some New York Islanders. We'll hear Camp Date's 2-minute warning and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience, but it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venues.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
An annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-471-7380 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll out, but Japa's team will help
it's
keep
flying
the
by.
construction jobs
Thursday
rolling on
afternoon.
time
I can't
and
believe
on
it.
budget.
Can't believe
Heavy
it's-
equipment
can't believe
sales
it's-
and rental.
can't believe-
Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
The madness
What
continues
is
at the
next?
Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30%
Connor
off
Halley,
coffee tables and
sports.
nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to
It's actually
$1,000
16
off
degrees.
appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month at St. Albert Dodge. Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep, it's a 4x4, and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, keyless entry, and heated front seats, all starting from just $34,900. Head up the trail and see this at St. Albert Dodge.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
When it comes to choosing a hair clinic, the difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience, and I'll work directly with you every step of the way.
Physicians come from all over the world to learn from Dr. Elliott.
When your personal goal is to help other people achieve theirs, you must deeply understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car. That's what profit shares look like for Vision Credit Union members. Each year, we return about 75% of our profits, $35 million last year, to the people who bank with us. Because at Vision Credit Union, when you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
311, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Thanks so much for listening, watching the show, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's game day on NHL, NFL, Steelers and Bengals, and of course, MLB playoffs. You have the Jays and the Mariners. Also tonight, the Milwaukee Brewers trying to follow in the footsteps of the Jays and get back in their series. They need a win on the road against the LA Dodgers, who spend more money than anyone else. So I am rooting heavily for the Brewers. I don't think it takes a lot of great managing where you can just spend way more money than everybody else. Like the fact that their luxury tax bill is more than the actual salary of the Brewers. It's not ideal. But still, hey, go Brewers. They were good all year long. God, it'd be great to see them finish. Now, the Dodgers, it's going to be hard-pressed to get a better pitching performance tonight than what they've had in games 1 and 2, going 8 and 9 innings from their starters. So that'll obviously be somewhat of a little bit of a challenge for sure. The Edmonton Oilers in New York to take on the Islanders, and the Oilers can go 3-0-1 to start the season, which would be huge. Then they got back-to-back games against the Devils and the Red Wings. And I know yesterday on the show, we talked about, who would you start on the weekend? Well, I just kind of stumbled across because Stuart Skinner's going for a win 100 tonight to become the third fastest goalie in Oilers franchise history to 100 wins. He would do it in his 171st start. Grant Fuhr did it at 168, and Andy Moog did it in 149 starts. Basically, when him and Fuhr were in the league together, they came in basically the exact same time, 81, 82. And so for Skinner to be third, it's a pretty good accomplishment. Obviously, the Oilers are a pretty good team right now. So that's not a huge surprise to me. But I did notice that Skinner has beaten every team in the NHL except the New Jersey Devils. He's 0-3. Now, not saying it's just him, but he's 0-3. Meanwhile, Calvin Pickard in his career, and here's another funny stat. Did you know? As of right now, today, Stuart Skinner, 176 NHL games. Calvin Pickard, 176 NHL games. Skinner will get to 177 more. Now, Pickard is actually 4-1 in his career against the Devils. So I wonder, does that, I don't even know if a coach looks at things like that. Do you ask, you know what? Because it's true. Sometimes you feel better matchup. Now, maybe Skinner's like, God, I haven't beat them. I really want to play them. So different ways to look at it. Coaches have different theories. Do you say, hey, do we give Skinner to go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? So it's game day off. I know I talked to goalies. They kind of like get in a rhythm. I think if he plays well tonight, I could see them saying, hey, let's give him New Jersey. Then Pickard can go against Detroit. Or he might say, well, you know what? You did 2 and 3 days. We'll give you Saturday off, and then you'll play Sunday, Tuesday. So we'll see. But it'll be interesting what they do. You know what? If the Oilers play defensively like they did in games 1 and 2, might not matter as much. So we'll see. Now, interesting for the this just coming out, Connor Halley. The Jays lineup today will be Springer DHing, Lucas left field, Guerrero first base, Kirk at catcher, Varsho center field, Clement third base, Barger right field, Kiner Falefa second base, Jimenez shortstop. What do you make of Kiner Falefa in ahead of Schneider? Because you could play Barger at third, right? Put Clement at second and put Schneider in the outfield.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of interesting to see them tinker a little bit, right? Coming off.
Well, it's a different pitcher, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But Kiner Falefa doesn't, he just brings you no offense, at least historically. So we'll see. I wonder how quickly he'll be out of the game.
Yeah, that's what I like. Is he going to be out within the first couple innings here, the rotation there? Interesting. I guess maybe, not bringing you offense, they have faith in the rest of their guys that they can get the job done. But yeah, interesting little tidbit there. That's just coming down from the Jays official account, I would assume, hey?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, yeah, the Jays put it out, and then Ben Smith just retweeted. I noticed it just came out right away. Hey, guys, that was great. I'm a huge Glenmorangie guy. It's my favorite Scotch whiskey. I will say the new one that just came out, if you're a Glenmorangie guy, it's limited. So stop in, CB Radio guy, and get in there and ask for the special edition. That's because what did he say? There's very limited bottles to try it. The spice one, ooh, all the spices. It was good. That was my favorite of the three. So I think you will like it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, what's your thoughts on Vegas signing Hart? Well, he signed to a PTO, and that's only because he can't sign an original contract, I guess, until December 1st. Now it just allows him to practice with the team. My viewpoint, hey, you want to give people second chances, great. Show me you're worth a second chance. Because at some point you have to look and say, was the whole situation... So the court of law is one thing. Then there's just your moral standards of what's right or wrong. Read the text messages. Read the whole thing about it. For me, I can only talk personally. You know, you walk into a room and there's one girl and there's 10. It's just awkward, right? It's awkward. Be a better human. That would be my, and don't give me age. I'm sorry. I was 18 and 19. Never thought that was something to be cool or fun ever. So that's my own personal opinion. Everybody's going to have different ones, but all I got to do is look at the numbers of our society when it comes to sexual abuse, and it's a rampant problem. You can try to hide your head in the sand if you want, but it's a rampant problem. And if you have people who think that's okay, that's where it starts, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. In lots of walks of life. Hey, you know what? I had I'm going to drink 3 drinks every day. Haha. Now I'm going to drink 4 drinks every day. Then guess what? You keep doing it. It keeps getting worse. It's just a fact. Right? Hey, I'm going to eat crappy one day. Going to eat crappy 2. Now, next thing you know, I'm eating crappy 6 days. It's no different. It escalates because you get more comfortable with it. So I'm a big believer in karma. So do I think this improves Vegas's chances? Personally, no. But we'll see how it plays out. So. Hey, maybe second chance. Maybe he'll wake up. But I've yet to see any remorse, and that's my biggest problem. Yet to see any remorse. So, and because, hey, trust me, remorse can happen. I read a book that I would, you know me, Cons, I'm a big, huge reader, and I want to get the South of Forgiveness is the book I would recommend for anybody to read, because it's written from the viewpoint of a girl and a boy. Well, they were young adults at the time. They were youngsters, 17 when it happened. She was his girlfriend. And then, you know, they'd had consensual sex once. The next time she was really inebriated. And guess what? He raped her. And you know what, though? He admitted to it. And they had this ongoing communication for years talking about it. They met face-to-face for a week. Then they actually wrote a book about it. And that's what the South of Forgiveness. It's a true story of rape and responsibility. And so there is remorse. And because trust me, I believe that rapists know what they did was wrong. Truly deep down at the end, they know it's wrong. And you don't want to admit it, so then it eats away at you. So you know what? If they showed remorse, I'd have a much more willingness to want to say, okay, get a second chance. I've never seen any remorse anywhere. And so that's my issue with it. But so there you go. We'll see, because that's how it is. And you know what? Mistakes, and there's different levels of mistakes. I think everybody out there knows that. Some mistakes are 2s and 3s out of 10. Some are 10s out of 10. They're not all going to be treated the exact same. I think if you own up to it, ask for forgiveness, right? Be a rational human being about it, I'd probably have a better chance. So I don't know. I'm not, to me, it's not much worth talking about. It's not on the team. I guess when he starts playing, we'll see how he plays. He's got to live with it. They know what they did. And if they think that what they did was perfectly normal, then I would question it. We'll see. Greg's, I'm with you. I'd much rather see Schneider in, IKF out. Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. So we'll see. Especially because Connor Halley, good defensively. Not great, good, not great. I don't think he's a better second baseman than Ernie Clement defensively. And I don't think he hits as good as Schneider. So I don't know. Maybe they're thinking something about strategy. We'll see. It's hard to question the manager all the time, but this is one that gives me pause and makes me go, we'll see. Hey, Gregor, when's Connor Ingram going to get in some games with the Condors? My understanding is he's likely going to play a game this weekend. And we'll see. I think people, like, expectations for Connor Ingram have to be slowed down a lot here. Like, the guy's just trying to get his life back in order, right? And, now he's got to get in conditioning and everything because he wasn't in training camp. It wasn't an NHL training camp when that trade was made. So, you know what? He didn't play last weekend, and which is fine. I don't think he should have. He's not ready. So, but I think there just has to be some, tapered expectations to kind of see, where it goes from there, right? Matt Tompkins played, and it wasn't a great night for the Condors at all. So, you know what? He gave up 7 goals in their first game. Not ideal. So, maybe it's not the best defensive situation for the goaltender. We'll see. Maybe it was one game. It could easily be a one-off early on in the season. Now let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We got 2-minute warning. We'll get to Andrew Gross, 5 questions and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right? Available now, only at Booster Juice.
You'll see us digging holes. No, we're not looking for buried treasure. You'll see us digging trenches as well. And no, we're not building a fort. We're GS Construction, and you'll see us in neighborhoods throughout the Edmonton area. So what are we doing? GS Construction provides rehabilitation and upgrade services to Edmonton and surrounding communities. Some of our underground utilities have served us for years and are past their useful lives. We replace them, so they're around for years to come. Find out more at gsconstruction.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off a $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Oodle Noodle Origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
When you get into a new Tundra, you might find yourself hauling ATVs into the great outdoors, even if your last outdoor experience was a backyard barbecue. Because with this much towing capability, it's a serious upgrade. All that's left to do is drive it home. Get in and go right now at Toyota, where you can lease a 2025 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $145 weekly for 64 months at 4.39% with $7,999 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca for your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Game day sauce.
Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar and looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game day sauce.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Three 327. Welcome back. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Oilers tonight taking on the New York Islanders. McDavid, Draisaitl on their own lines. Doesn't look like, Janmark's not back. Wallman doesn't. Well, I guess there's a chance we'll see it warm up, but based on lines yesterday, they didn't have a morning skate today. It didn't look like Jake Wallman was going to return to the lineup tonight. We'll see. I guess there's a chance. And if it is, well, then I would guess that Troy Stecher comes out for Jake Wallman. Obviously, Janmark's not playing. He's on IR. Regula's on IR. And, well, so is Wallman. So someone would have to come off to make it. Well, now him and Regula, actually. Regula's not on IR. They could just switch out and he could be retroactive. So, but I haven't seen that paperwork yet. Now it could happen, sooner than later because it doesn't really change the roster. But I'm guessing it's going to be a similar lineup as last game. The Islanders, though, they got a pretty big switch in goal. Ilya Sorokin, their star netminder, who is in the second year of an 8-year deal, through 3 games, struggling a little bit, .854 save percentage, a 4.18 goals against average. So he is going to get the night off. And newest member of the Islanders will start his first game for them. Dave Rittich, who, of course, knows the Oilers all too well, playing in L.A. and in Calgary as we go around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's. And one of your favorite games is back at McDonald's, where you can play, of course, Monopoly, where you got 2 chances to win. You can peel it on the pack. Then you can peel in the app for the extra chance to win. Only at McDonald's until November 10th. As we go out to New York to get the Islanders sides of things, Andrew Gross from Newsday, longtime beat reporter for the Islanders, joins us once again. Andrew, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Hey, Jason, it's great to talk to you. I hope you had a good off season. And it's great to be talking some hockey and getting the season going here.
Well, speaking of off season, man, the Islanders had an unreal off season. They won the draft lottery, and then they got Schaefer. And man, this kid can really move. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't know he was this good of a skater. I watched their first game, and I was like, holy cow! Like this guy's only 18 years of age, but he can really get around the ice. It's he played 17 games last year. You thought maybe he needs a little bit more seasoning, but so far, so good for him. He's playing with Scott Mayfield. He's playing 23 minutes a night. And, Islander fans, rightfully so, he gives them a real big shot in the arm about how the future could be a little bit brighter down the road.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the Islanders come into this game with the only team in the NHL not to get a point yet. But Schaefer's really been the whole focus through these first three games. Like you said, if his speed is that apparent, on TV when you watch it live, it's really mind-boggling. I think you can make the case that he's already their best defenseman. And when you say he's 18, he literally just turned 18. He was drafted at 17. He turned 18 on September 5th, right before training camp opened. And, it was very quick that there was literally no doubt that he was going to be on the roster, and that Patrick Waugh and Matthew Darsh, the new GM, really trust him implicitly to do as much as he can. He's switching off with Tony DeAngelo playing on the first power play at times. He's also starting to be used on the PK, and they're just, he's partnered with Scott Mayfield, but they're also rotating him in to play with the other veterans. He's led the team in ice time 2 games in a row, twice over 26 minutes. If he notches a point tonight, he will be the youngest player in NHL history with a point in their first 4 career games. So, the Islanders 0-3-0, but like you say, building towards a great future with this kid.
Now, the Islanders for a long time, Lou Lamoriello, hey, you know what? We're just going to keep rolling it out, the same thing, and it never worked. And so Darsh comes in, and there's been a change for sure, but you can't just switch out everybody overnight. I know they're 0-3, but I was looking at their numbers. They've actually had 5-on-5. They've outshot teams 70-61. They've actually outchanced them, but they're being outscored 9-5, and that's really been the difference in the games. Their special teams pretty even. It's 2 power play goals for, 3 power play goals against, so it's fairly even in those games. What have you seen from the Islanders? How much of it is just Sorokin? How much of it is team play?
Yeah, for the most part, their defensive structure has been good. It's just they've been giving up too many odd man rushes. They're getting beat back, and it's been a few different things: communication, positioning. Sometimes the puck's just bouncing off at the blue line and heading the other way. So it's been too many odd man rushes. Sorokin has had a couple of moments where he's made those acrobatic, really good saves that you've gotten used to from him, but there have been too many kind of shaky moments. His rebound control in particular has been a little suspect through the first 3 games, which is why I think they sat him down maybe a game earlier than they expected to. We kind of projecting that Rittich would get his first start up in Ottawa on Saturday afternoon, but they go to Rittich tonight against the Oilers. And look, the Islanders, the Jets get off, even first period, but the Jets are winning 2-0. Jean-Gabriel Pageau halves that lead just 2 minutes into the second period, and you kind of felt like the way the Islanders were playing, they were going to get themselves back into it. But Sorokin let in a really softie that you can't allow in just 14 seconds later to Jets defenseman Logan Stanley, and it was 3-1, and the Jets just kind of held on from there. And we were talking to Ilya after the game and asked him where his confidence level was, and instead of saying it's not a problem, he was like, it's okay. And so today it was very interesting at the morning skate. The regulars go off and the extras stay out there, and of course that's Sorokin with the extras shooting on him since he's not starting tonight. But Patrick Waugh stays out on the ice to work with Ilya Sorokin, during that period with the extras. And he wasn't really working with technique. He's just trying to bolster Ilya Sorokin's confidence. He did talk to him about rebound control, but, Patrick said, shame on me today for not getting to Ilya sooner. He usually lets goalie coach Piero Greco do all the technique and the goalie work, but Patrick Waugh made a point today of getting out there and really working one-on-one with Ilya Sorokin. It was very interesting to watch, and I think it says a lot. The whole organization knows that, Schaefer can be as good as he is, and they can score goals, and they can get, the power play going again. But if Ilya Sorokin is not right, this is sort of a DOA season. So they gotta get him going, and that's why Patrick was really trying to boost his confidence today.
Yeah, well, I saw that. I saw your report about stayed on the ice after practice with them, and then Patrick Roy was very like, hey, you know what, I gotta boost up my goaltender, which makes sense, right? Like you still got to make the feel like he is obviously probably still their most important piece, right? And I know here in Edmonton, there are other fans like, oh, geez, if they lose, they're going to want to trade Sorokin. Like I don't see any reason where the Islanders, like they got Schaefer, they're kind of rebuilding, but you've got a foundation piece in goal. Right, all you got to do is look at Florida. Florida didn't trade Bobrovsky. They kept him for a few years, and then they built up, and they became really good. Like, Sorokin's not going anywhere with 7 years left in his deal.
No, I can't imagine that. And, honestly, I mean, you're not turning to David Rittich as a number one goalie, right? The Flames tried that several years back. And Semyon Varlamov may or may not be available at some point this season. And even, going into the future, the Islanders don't have an apparent number one coming up through the pipeline yet. So, no, it makes no sense. And especially now we're, you look at Shesterkin's contract, Ilya Sorokin, AAV looks really reasonable for a number one goalie right now, right? And he's 30. He still has, you want to say like probably maybe four seasons, maybe five if you stretch it, still in his prime. Before maybe some of that athleticism starts slowing down a little bit. So no, you don't trade him. You need to build him back up right now.
Yeah. They build around him and build him back up. And, that's obviously why Darsh came in. Do you get the sense that the organization is one where they're kind of in a retool here? Like they got lucky in the draft lottery. Let's make no bones about it, right? Like they went from I can't remember. It was the 11th or 10th, and they move all the way up to number one, and you could get a franchise defenseman. So that doesn't change though where the organization's at. Like they still got a lot of pieces they got to fill out in this roster.
Yeah, they won't admit to the retool or the rebuild or whatever you want to call it, because they are in a weird spot where, like, you mentioned Sorokin's in year 2 of a 8-year deal. You got both Bo Horvat and Matthew Barzal on very similar deals, 3 seasons into 8-year deals. And you still have Ryan Pulak and Adam Pelech with a lot of years left on their deal. And I don't know if either one is really tradable, given where they're at in their careers. So, you're going to have to build it back up with young players. And like you said, they got incredibly lucky with Schaefer they had a 3.5% chance of winning the NHL draft lottery, and the balls came up perfectly for them. And, Schaefer is sort of the right time in the right place for him coming to the Islanders. I was talking to Pat LaFontaine a couple of weeks ago. And the Islanders have had some good defensemen coming through here, but Patty was hard pressed to name a guy coming in like Matthew Schaefer, as good as he is, since they drafted Denny Potvin, first overall. And that was all the way back in 1973.
Yeah, it's been a while, no question. How's Barzal looked? I know he only played 30 games. His last game was February 1st. Last season, if you look at the stats page, 1 point in 3 games, not great by any stretch, but how has he looked after a fairly long layoff and somewhat of an injury-riddled season last year?
Yeah, no, his skating looks really strong. He's still quick, and he can still cut on a dime. With Barzy, it's the same thing. Can he use that skating efficiently to attack the crease, or is he going to curl off and is nothing going to develop from it? And it's been a little bit of both. He made an incredible pass on a rush to set up a goal the other game. But against the Jets, I saw a few too many, coming around the crease and just continuing to curl and never really getting the puck towards the crease. So, there was some concern when you have a knee injury like he does. How does he come back and skate? And so far that's been fine. So I think that is a very good sign for the Islanders.
The Islanders lineup, when you go 1 through 12 on their forward group, is there Heineman's on their top line right now. The young Shabanov's come in and scored a goal early on this season. What do you make of those guys and kind of where they're at in this development curve for them? Like what kind of players do you think those guys can become?
I think both can become really good players. I mean, Matthew Darche was very insistent on getting Emil Heineman from the Canadiens as part of that Noah Dobson deal. Obviously, he was as a rookie in Montreal last season. He was in a bottom six role. But the Islanders really, really, really like his shot. And they think they can exploit it. And for them to exploit it, they want him to get more than fourth line minutes. And is he playing too high up in the lineup? There's a chance, maybe he'd be best suited on a third line, maybe with Jean-Gabriel Pageau. And Pageau is skating with Shabanov, Max Shabanov, the guy you referenced, the Russian rookie who, probably thought he might be coming here to play in a top six role. And, he's still trying to figure out the North American game. And, he called it today a speed game and a physical game. So there are going to be some adjustments for him. So they've sort of dialed it back after he did start out on the top line to start training camp. They've dialed it back with him to the third line. They don't really have a spot for Heineman on the fourth line because Max Siplikov is sort of settled into that role. And so Heineman is playing up in the lineup. And, he's taken a few really good shots and he has one goal. And, they're looking for him to be more productive offensively than he was in Montreal. So, he's going to get going, and I think Shabanov's going to figure it out. And both of them are playing on the power play, so there are a lot of eggs in those two baskets there.
Yeah. Do you think Schaefer is going to see McDavid tonight, or will they? Because I was looking in their first games, like he played a lot of minutes, but they've been rather like they still understand he's an 18-year-old rookie. Like he didn't play a ton. He didn't play the most minutes against Crosby, right? Like they're playing in minutes, but they're somewhat selective, which is wise.
Yeah, I think what Patrick Roy has been doing, it's not so much the matchup on who he's playing against defensively. They're trying to get Schaefer on the ice as much as possible with Barzal to utilize the speed both of them bring. So I think it's more a matter of, are you matching Barzy's line up against it? And I tend to think that, Bo Horvat will probably draw maybe more of that assignment, or Jean-Gabriel Pageau. So I don't think you're going to see, a ton of Schaefer versus McDavid. But it's not, it's more because they're trying to get him on the ice with Barzal, I think, than anything else at this point.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. The Oilers off to a good start. They've got some new lines, and we'll see how they play against the Islanders, who are looking for their first win tonight. Andrew, thanks so much for your time. Have a great day.
Hey, Jason, thanks as always for having me on. You be well.
You betcha. That's Andrew Gross, longtime beat reporter of the Islanders from Newsday. I think, man, Andrew and I have been doing that for probably close to 15 years, I would think. So the Islanders, when you watch the game tonight, Order fans, just watch Schaefer. Just if you can. I know it's hard on TV because they zone in where the puck is, but man, this guy can really move. Like he is a really smooth skater, and he's a young 18-year-old. Incredibly raw. It's a hard position to play as a defenseman. There's going to be some mistakes for sure. And I could see why you might not, try to put him out there against McDavid that much. I looked at their matchups against Pittsburgh and some other ones, and you're trying to pick and choose, as you should. He's an 18-year-old rookie. Now you can play in minutes, but you can try to put him in a better position to succeed. So I don't think playing against McDavid would necessarily do that. It would be a thrill, though. I'm sure like he'll play some minutes against him. Just it's going to happen, but I don't know if they'll necessarily be the main guys. I would think that it'll be the Pelech-Pulak pairing that tries to be out against McDavid as much as they can. Come back. We got 5 questions, 2-minute warning and more on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience, but it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-471-7380 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
You got it. Go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for zombie hunters. Those who know their old decrepit furnace passed away years ago. It's decaying husk shuffling around now as the bird is off. Legacy Heating will send your undead furnace to its grave, replacing it with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Protect your legacy from the beast in the basement. It's time to destroy the furnace of the dead. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House. Indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to JasonGregorPizzaPigOut.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Mission Rail and Auctioneering's 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved equipment auctions are this Friday at 9 a.m., featuring a large selection of surplus municipal graders plus backhoes, dozers, wheel loaders, man lifts, skid steers, telehandlers, plus commercial trailers and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call. It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy. Head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. 780-298-2797.
Mission Rail and Auctioneering's next 3-day Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg public unreserved industrial auctions are this Thursday and Friday at 9 a.m. These major events include multiple lanes selling a large selection of multi-purpose trucks, equipment, and commercial trailers. Info at maauctions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through, man. This is flying right by. Lovely Thursday afternoon, Gregor, Halley, Declan Kruger running things on our YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram page. Go say hi to the D-Man. Give him the thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. I like it. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick, where the madness continues at The Brick. You can get your home ready to host, because guess what? Maybe it's Grey Cup party. Maybe you got a Blue Jays party. Maybe it's just the Oilers game. Well, you can get up to 30% off coffee tables and stands, up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and huge savings on big screen TVs, up to $800, and free delivery over 50-inch TVs at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1 for you today. Let's get the prediction. Oilers Islanders, and dropping a bold prediction as well.
Go ahead.
I'm going to take the Oilers in this one. I think the Islanders obviously can't quite match up with this squad. Bold prediction for you. Ooh. I'll do it for Wanye. Iceman gets a goal tonight. His limited action.
Oh, jeez. I am going to say, well, I think the Oilers keep rolling. The Islanders aren't that good of a team, and Edmonton skaters didn't play great on Tuesday. They'll have a better effort tonight, so I think they win 5-2, and David Tomasic scores his first NHL goal.
All right. Well, hey, that kind of leads us into question number 2. A few Oilers, big names, haven't scored a goal yet this season. Of those players, who do you think gets the goal first?
McDavid.
I'm going to take Evan Bouchard. Pointless on the season. So I'm going to say Evan Bouchard kicks things off with a power play goal. Classic Bouch bomb. Question number 3 for you. How many innings do you think Mad Max will last tonight for the Blue Jays?
Oh, great question. Well, they need him to go. I'm going to say 4. So that's probably a little bit with my heart, so I'll say 4.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we put that in the universe, it could happen. Not to be the exact same as you, and I don't think he goes 5, so I'll take 3 quality innings, and then you move on to the bullpen and keep it rolling there. Question number 4 for you. Week 7 in the NFL kicks off tonight. The Steelers enter as 5.5-point favorites in Cincinnati, with the over-under set at 45 points at PlayAlberta.ca. What would your wagers be this fine evening?
Oh, God. Well, it's funny. And you would think the Steelers are going to walk all over them, right? The Bengals are brutal. They're absolutely brutal. And so I'm going to take the Steelers with points, but I'll probably go under. So, and you know me, I hate the under. So I'd probably just go with Steelers with points.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like the history of the last couple of games where we've seen the underdogs find ways not only to cover, but win. Tomlin has struggles on the short weeks going into the divisional rivals. All that being said, I'm going to take the Steelers to find a way to cover this one. And if I had to take another fun bet, take nothing too crazy, maybe a DK Metcalf anytime touchdown. I think that would be one. Maybe Aaron Rodgers finds him back of the end zone. Final question for you. Today is National Dictionary Day. In honor of that, what would you say is the word that you have the most trouble spelling?
I don't know why. Rhythm. I always have to spell it. I hate it. I don't know why. You'd think even now I should be able to spell it properly. But nope, I don't.
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Is there 2 I's?
No, there's RHYTHM.
Okay. Well, I'm right there with you.
I's.
Or Y. I meant Y's.
Oh,
Y's.
no,
RYTH.
no.
All right.
I don't know why, but rhythm, I always just think it's RY and it's not. And
Yeah.
you think that, although I did just say it out loud, so maybe I do know how to spell it. But every time I go to write it, it's just like in my head, it's rattling. Every time I'm like, God, is that right? Oh, it's the worst. So yeah, rhythm for me for sure.
Rhythm. For me, it's a restaurant. And I don't know why.
What? How do you spell it?
Nobody knows.
Like, do you go RESTO?
I think what I do is RESTARAU. Restaurant.
Oh.
I put the AU before or after where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you put the AU before or after the A.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what gets me. And like a lot of times, autocorrect won't even pick up on it. So I'll just avoid using that word. I've gotten better at it, but for a long time, I just wouldn't even use that word. Like, I'd just say, where do you guys want to go eat?
Yeah. Interesting.
Use the thesaurus.
Thesaurus. That's another word you probably be tough to spell. For sure. We'll take a break. We come back. We got Spec. Then we got the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. We got walks coming up in the pregame show and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca. They are more than just your average grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, cafe, a deli, rotisserie, pizzeria, all under one roof. 2 locations, Sherwood Park and Edmonton, and fresh local food. Loca.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Edmonton Oilers out in New York, set to take on the Islanders. Puck drop 5:30. We've got pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor, and Alanin Ferraro at 4:30 right here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Kraken up against the Sens. The Preds take on Montreal. Leafs host the Rangers. Devils up against the Panthers. Jets travel to Philadelphia. Jackets hosting the Avs. The Ducks meet the Stars. The Ducks host the Canes and the Penguins in Los Angeles. In the BCHL tonight, you got Spruce Grove taking on Chilliwack. That gets going just after 8 o'clock Mountain Time right now. Sherwood Park trailed Langley 8-4 midway through the third period. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays looking to even up their series with the Mariners. First pitch, 6:33. They currently trail 2-1. Max Scherzer on the mound for Toronto. Mariners countering with Luis Castillo. And at 4:08, you got the Dodgers taking on the Brewers. LA currently up 2-0. Thursday night football this evening as Week 7 kicks off. Bengals Steelers 6:15 from Cincinnati. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and get to our pregame coverage. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text credit to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sports fans, stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money. Fluent? Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in app.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back.
311.
Every dollar raised fuels early
Connor
detection
Halley,
and
sports.
life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to
Sports
start your
1440
fundraiser
sports.
or donate today.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125
Flying
off
right by.
select Goodyear
Love
tires,
it.
and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
After 4 o'clock. Oh, man, great night for sports. You got hockey, you got football, you got baseball. Woo-hoo. Love it. And then, of course, tomorrow night, the Elks in another must-win game. It's like a playoff game for the Elks. To win, and you still got a chance. Then they would come home to face the Calgary Stampeders for the final home game of the season, a chance to maybe make the playoffs. That'd be unreal. But now they need a little bit of help. They need Saskatchewan to beat Winnipeg and or Toronto to beat Calgary. The latter, probably not great odds on that one. But you never know. That's why they play the games. Look at some of the upsets we've seen the last few weeks in the NFL. Most of us wouldn't have expected them. So you never know. The Oilers obviously have to hope they don't get upset tonight against the Islanders, who are winless on the season. 0-3. The Oilers are 2-0-1 so far. Have yet to lose a game in regulation or real in hockey. Lost in an 8-shootout. It is the Gregor Show, presented by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game all the time. It's your one-stop shop: casino, sports, live dealer, lottery, instants, and the Daily Grand on Thursday, where you can win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. That's $7.3 million. Pretty good deal. Get your tickets at playalberta.ca. Oilers are in Long Island. We'll head out there for the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. You heard yesterday, their owner, Turan Sano, a really good teammate, Vinny Prospel, telling us, hey, he took him out, bought him a suit because he needed one. That's how he treats his employees. So if you want to work for a great company, they love sports and chirping, look online today. Go to gsconstruction.ca and look up careers. As we welcome back to the show from Rogers Sportsnet, Mark Spector. Spec, how you doing?
Doing fantastic. Sitting here in an empty UBS arena. The organist is serenading us with some hits from the 80s and 90s. Couldn't be better.
Oh yeah, just loving it. That's nice. Hey, how's the meal in Long Island?
The meal?
Yeah, like the media meal before the game.
It looks pretty good. I just haven't had it yet. I just walked in there. They're serving chicken parm tonight. They got a nice salad bar. So I would say to you, it looks like a bit of a winner. Why do you ask?
I'm just curious. Just in honor of Ray Ferraro, then chicken parm. It's
yeah,
what he loves.
Chicken parm, right? Yeah.
Former Islander. Anytime I think of the Islanders, as much as I know they won championships, I always think of the 1997 game in overtime against Washington. That was my first foray into long overtime games that I got to watch all of them. And so that is my number one. That and the David Volek upset over the Pittsburgh Penguins in 1993 when the Penguins were an absolute wagon and the Islanders came back and beat them.
I was working at the University of Alberta newspaper, the Gateway, and a girl there whose name was Sherry Ritchie had us all over to a party at her apartment. And that game that went like 5 overtimes ruined the party. It ruined her party. She was sour at all us guys for watching that hockey game, and we wrecked the party.
Oh, it's classic young guys. Hey, girls. Hey, let's intermingle. Oh, there's a game on.
We were watching the game. Yeah.
Basically, how can you say we're not that interested in dating? That's how you say it without saying it. Classic.
If Sherry's out there listening right now, I'm really sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but not really. But not really that sorry. The Edmonton Oilers look like no lineup. Well, you're not expecting Jake Wallman to play tonight, are you?
No, the word is he's not playing tonight. Chris Knobloch is giving media meeting with the media in 3 minutes, but it's about 6 floors below me, and I won't be there because I'm talking to you. Okay. So we don't think Wallman plays tonight. No.
Okay, which not a surprise, and I guess maybe they'll shoot for the weekend. I'd be surprised if he came back and played both games of a back-to-back for his first 2 games this season. I guess you never know, but that might be a little odd. So they'll stick with the lines that they ended the game with, Spec. And I thought David Tomasik's game, you know what, like obviously he made a really nice play for his first point on the power play, but I saw him, using his speed, using his size really more than anything. He controls the puck very well. And, on the surface, his style of play is one that, and a guy who's got really good hands might be able to be a good complementary winger for McDavid. We'll see.
Yeah, I like the way he tries to take the puck to the net. Like he'll challenge a defenseman one-on-one, and he'll try to get through him and get right to the net. He went wide on a Rangers defenseman and somehow found a way to pull the puck. Like it looked like he was going behind the net all day long. And in fact, he got that puck out in front of the Rangers goalie and almost Shesterkin, and really had a good jam shot from about 2 feet off the line. Those go in sometimes when you're shooting from that close. So I think he shows pretty good courage, I would say, Jason. He's not a perimeter guy at all. He seems like the opposite of that. So that's a great place to start for a European guy coming here playing his first games. I'm not seeing a guy who's sitting on the outside all the time. Not at all. That's good.
Yeah. You look at that Frederick, Podkolzin, and Kapanen line. I think at 5-on-5. Now, I know that line only played 1 game together, but Phil played with them prior to that. I think that line's actually been their best 5-on-5 line. They've got 2 of the 3 goals, but I really like their speed and everything. They kind of, they got some unlucky people who would look and say, yeah, but they've been on the ice for a few goals. Well, keep in mind, one of them was the one that went off Phil's skate, and then the other one was the Skinner. Like I don't blame them at all. I've quite liked it. I think Kapanen's had a really good start.
Yeah, he's had a great start to the season, Captain. I notice him every night. For 3 nights in a row, I've left the rink thinking, you know what? 42 is pretty good. I've been saying that I don't know if Trent Frederick's the third-line center for this team, but he signed a 7-year deal. He's 27 years old. He's a part of this thing, man. Like I know we don't know much about him. I'm still trying to exactly learn and figure out what this player is and what his strengths and weaknesses. Last year was kind of a waste of time. He was limping around. So I think if he can be your third line center, that would be a good thing. Like he's big, he's rangy, he's plays a tougher game. I'm not telling you he's Dave Schultz, but if he could be your third line center, I don't mind that. Let's see. I'm not telling you he is going to be, but I like him in that spot. And I'll tell you what he's not. He's not a first line player. Like putting him up on the first line does not do Trent Frederick a service. He's a fish out of water up there. So yeah, Podkolzin, Kapanen, and Frederick, it's got the makings of pretty decent third line, don't you think? Got good rhythm, Jason. That line has excellent rhythm.
Yeah.
RH.
Yeah, RH, buddy. Honestly, like that word, I hate it. God, it's just a rattle. Like, every time I write it, I'm just like, oh my God, am I writing this thing well? Like,
we all have those words. You know what mine is?
What?
Maneuver.
Oh, yeah.
Maneuver.
Yeah,
Maneuver. That's the Canadian way. The Americans spell it easier, but the Canadian way, I got to look it up every time.
Yeah, well, the Canadian, MANOE, right? OEU, is that what it is?
OEUVRE, yes.
Yeah,
The American
yes.
way is EUVER.
Yeah, much easier.
Typical Americans taking a shortcut.
Hey, speaking of the Americans, I know you went out. Did you go to? Did you fulfill your plan and go out and watch the morning skate of the Islanders today?
No, that was never my plan.
Oh, was it yesterday? Well, I thought you were going to. I thought you were going. You're planning on maybe going to see Schaefer.
No, that was not my plan. They yesterday I did the Board of Governors all day, so I didn't even see any hockey. And no, I didn't come out here today to skate. It's a long ways. We stay in Manhattan, and it's a subway. You got to change to the station. Then you got to take another subway. It's about 55 minutes. Then you got to walk about another 20 minutes to get to the rink. I'm not doing that twice in one day, my friend.
Yeah. All right. No, that makes sense. But, you look at them and, hey, they lucked out in the lottery. No question about it. Anytime you win the lottery, you luck out. Whether you move from third like the Oilers did, you're like the Penguins who, now they were a bad team anyway, but they won like when everybody had a chance at least in that one. And then
the Islanders, didn't they move up 5 spots or something?
Dude, they moved up 10.
10, yeah.
They were like the massive. They were like they came from way back on the outside in a horse race that no one's expecting them to win, and that's what they did, right? Which is great. And so now they got to take advantage of it. And no Sorokin tonight. He's off to a slow start. So they get Dave Rittich, and it's funny. Dave Rittich in his career is 5-4-1 against the Oilers, but since his excessive shootout celebration that got everybody fired up, and I love a rivalry, he's now 1-3. In the 4 games since. So I do think there's a little extra juice when the Oilers play Rich.
Maybe there still is. Listen, it's a long season. You got to think of things to get you a little bit excited sometimes. And if you got to go back to a shootout that was how many years ago, Jay? Was he a king or was he a flame when he did that?
Oh, he's a flame.
He's a flame. So we're going back here. So, hey, listen, I am excited.
It was in 20, because I know exactly when it was. It was in 2021, and he had the big 22, the big celebration right down in his leg. And then the next game, the Oilers played him like 3 days later, and they scored 6 on him. And the Oilers were
Yeah, big save, Dave. Hey, listen, man, the guy wins. Earns the right to be excited. But I am excited to see Schaefer. Like everyone's talking, Scott Arniel, the Winnipeg Jets head coach, he put him in the same sentence as Cale Makar, his skating ability. So this guy skates we got a guy in our conference in Denver who skates like that. So, if you're telling me that a NHL coach is comparing this player to Cale Makar, I want to watch him play. He seems like I've already seen a bunch of jerseys people are wearing of his. Listen, the Islanders need something for you to get excited about. It's a real issue. I was just telling you about it's basically an hour in a train to get out here from Manhattan. It's an issue to get people here. You got to give them something more than Lou Lamoriello's boring 2-goal miss the playoff Islanders, right? That's not going to cut it. They need a team out here if they're going to fill this rink. And it starts with the Schaefer kid. Apparently he's going to be worth the price of admission if he's not already. I'm kind of excited to watch him for the first time, Jake.
Yeah. Well, yeah, me too. I'm kind of excited to see how the Oilers bounce back as a team. The skaters, that is. The goalie obviously played well, and I don't know if he can, I don't think he's going to get a shutout 2 days in a row. It's possible, but odds are it won't happen. I am interested, Spec, and I wrote it today about the Edmonton Oilers. Last year they were bottom 5 in shooting percentage in the league at 5-on-5, and really they were 26th overall. Here they are again. They get all these, the expected goals are high, and shots are high. But they have no traffic in front, Spec. And, Kevin Woodley, I got some numbers from ClearSight Analytics outlining the significant difference that you have when you have traffic in front of the net, right? A shot outside the slot area goes in 1.3% of the time. With the same shot with a defensive screen, 10.5%. A layered screen, 13.5%. Then you throw in one-timers and screen deflections. We're talking 20, 29% chance. It increases it massively. And I still don't see enough traffic by the Oilers in front of it. I'm not talking just put the puck back to the blue line. You can have traffic in front when you got a guy in the slot, and the Oilers just still don't seem to do it collectively as a team. And I think that's a big reason why they have all these shots but it doesn't relate to, it doesn't resonate with as many goals as they should have, especially when you consider how much offensive zone time they've had this year.
Yeah, they've had the puck a lot this year, and they're very, especially the top guys on this team, they don't just shoot. Like, they don't like a shot that doesn't, remember how we used to watch when the Oilers played the LA Kings in the playoffs, Jay, and they called themselves a volume shooting team. And you and I had the discussion, half their shots were turnovers to my eye because they didn't have a chance of going in. The Oilers are that way. Like, they pass off a lot of good shooting opportunities. And I don't love it. I'm not going to tell Draisaitl and McDavid how to play because I'm not going to tell them how to play. But when you're on the bench and you're a third line guy, just because you got a front row seat to watch McDavid and Draisaitl pass that thing into the net, it doesn't mean you have to play that way, right? You can't try to play the way Draisaitl plays when you're a third, fourth liner on this team. So I'm not telling you every line is going to put a guy to the net and jam pucks there, because that's not how this team operates. But there should be a couple lines that do that, Jay. They should play that way in the third and fourth line, because you're right. Traffic in front of the net, it's a proven fact, right? Traffic in front of that means more goals. The Oilers aren't scoring much right now either, right? They got to figure something out here.
Dude, their top six has 1 goal 5-on-5 in 2 games. 1, right? Like, so your third line has 2 goals, which is, hey, if your third line can get you 2 goals 5-on-5 out of every 3 games, that would be unreal production, right? Unreal if you look at the numbers. So that part of it would be good. But I look at,
they got 6 goals, right? They got 6 goals that aren't empty netters in 3 games.
Yes. And so I know people say, yeah, it's early, but I'm bringing this up because it's a trend that happened last year for the Edmonton Oilers. Lots of shots, lots of expected goals, and expected goals mean nothing. I'm talking actual goals. And actual goals, the Oilers, if you look overall, they score a lot because their power play is good. And 5-on-5, they were 14th in goals. 14th, despite having the most shots and the most shots per 60. So don't tell me that their production compared to their actual possession and chances is good. It shouldn't be. It's got to be higher when you have the puck that much and create that much. Make it easier on yourself and get some traffic in front. That's what they have to do.
Hyman's absence works against that for Edmonton as well. Of all the guys on this team that camps out in front of the net, the guy that's not playing right now is the best at it. So, yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Like, 2 goals a game is not going to cut it. The Oilers, everybody knows that. That's not a big secret here. We'll see how there's a reason why Knobloch's been flipping his lines already. We're 3 games in the season. He's run out, I think, 3 different sets of lines, at least 2. And he's doing it because he's not getting production, right? Coaches want production, and he'll keep changing them until he finds some.
Yeah, no. Well, hey, he's got to try something, right? Like, I think we all knew McDavid and Draisaitl weren't going to stay together all season long. I think it's wise to not do that. They are. And the good news is, hey, the Oilers are winning. Like, their defensive play and their goaltending's carried them through 3 games. That's awesome. That's a good thing. And but when people say, oh, it's early, they'll score. Oh, they'll just naturally score. Well, of course they're going to score more than they have been, but they're not going to reach their scoring potential because guess what? The team that's beat them, they beat them by being a team. Guess what? Look how much traffic they would create, right? They're always going to the net all the time. Like, people hate Sam Bennett because he touches the goalie all the time. How's he touch the goalie? Because he's always around the net. So, now Zach Hyman gets a lot of, a fair amount of goals disallowed. He's around the net. It's not that hard to do. It's just a willingness to do it. And now Tomasic showed me a little bit of it, but like Tomasic, Podkolzin, I look at Frederick, Kapanen, like, they got enough guys. Not everybody has to do it all the time, but they just have enough guys that they should do it more often.
Yeah, well, let's see what they got to come up with something here, because they weren't very Shesterkin didn't have to be great 2 days ago in Madison Square Garden. They did not. And the other thing they didn't draw a penalty that game, and they didn't even have a play where I thought, hey, that should have been a call.
No,
right?
There's
nothing. So that's indicative of a team that's probably not, going to the hard areas enough and testing the opposition enough, not going at defensemen enough. They got to get a little grittier. They got to get a little harder. And listen, we're picking apart a team that's 2-0-1 right now, but I think we'd all agree they can play a better brand of hockey than this.
Yeah. No, they can't offensively. Defensively, Spec, like I know that wasn't great against the Rangers, but man, those first 2 games they gave up very little.
They play with guts against the Rangers. Like there's some key block shots and really good tips at the last second that spoiled a sure chance. And they played a hard, grindy, tough game, man. A 1-0 game all the way. It's good to get those in early in the season, just to remind yourself, okay, we could do this. We can play like this when we have to. And they did. The Rangers were the better team, and the Oilers walked out with the 2 points. That's always a good thing when you can say that.
Spec, enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy the meal, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Are you going to be in New Jersey tomorrow?
I think the Oilers are taking a day off tomorrow, so I won't be in New Jersey. I got something all right. Probably walk around New York City a little bit, my friend. Be in New Jersey on Saturday.
Okay, keep an eye on the Jays game tonight.
Yeah, I know. Do they play tomorrow too?
Yeah, they play tonight and tomorrow.
Okay, I'll watch the game tomorrow. I kind of got to watch a hockey game tonight. I think that's what they're paying me to do.
Yeah, well, you can do. Hey, Spec, it's called intermission, right? You can watch it online.
Yeah, okay. I got you, brother.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Have a good one. Mark Spector, the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home to no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, of course, longtime journalist in town. Cam, born with cerebral palsy, is in a wheelchair, his disability never allowed him to be on radio until now. Through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
If you've got a minute, just one, fire up that interweb contraption and treat yourself to the Edmonton Oil Kings highlights from last night against Portland. Late in the first, 1:33 on the clock, the Oil Kings' third goal will make your jaw hit the floor. A between-the-legs backward pass. Yes, backward, like a magician pulling silk scarves from thin air. Pure theater on ice, my friend. Cue the horn, cue the goosebumps. Remember this name, Uncle Pete. Lucas Sawchin. 18 years old from Grand Prairie, where the wind teaches patience and frozen ponds teach dreams. Last night, Sawchin was just inside the Portland blue line. Between his legs, a pass of poetry to Parker Elko. Shot, rebound, purpose. Sawchin follows through, as if destiny skated beside him, and tucks it home. Edmonton's third straight. Jiminy crickets, Howie Meeker. Yes, the Oil Kings won 6-3. Yes, they remain perfect at home. Yes, they're ranked 5th in the nation, but you can't ignore the warning signs flashing in the third period. 3 goals surrendered last night, 2 more against Red Deer recently in a 4-2 win. You picking up what I'm laying down here? You can't win championships if you can't finish strong. The Oil Kings have the talent, no question, but do they have the killer instinct? We'll find out soon. Prince Albert Saturday, Saskatoon Sunday. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Halley, Tater. Sports 1440.
The Oil Kings are good. They are a treat to watch. So you definitely want to get down. They don't have a ton of home games though early on in the season. They do have lots coming up later, but they are back on the road again. But when they get home, something tells me the crowds will be pretty big because the Oil Kings are off to a great start. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us in our inbox. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Of course, busy night. We mentioned the Jays. Max Scherzer. We asked the question, like, realistically, how many innings do you think Max Scherzer goes tonight? Honestly, what's your expectation? How nervous are you? Okay, because I honestly, if Scherzer can go 4, and because if he's going 4, then obviously he's not getting lit up, I wouldn't think. To me, that's a huge win. And then they can look, do you go to Bassett? Do you go to Lauer? Obviously depending on how the game's going. But now the thing about Scherzer is, man, when he was rested, Cons, he came in, he pitched some doozy games for the Jays. Now down the stretch, it looked like maybe he got fatigued. So I wonder, having this much time off, he should be rested. How's he going to do? I'm very curious to see what Mad Max has going tonight.
Yeah, and I would think a motivated Scherzer, a guy who's been through a lot, seen everything. He's 41 years old, right? He's probably going to the Hall of Fame once he decides to hang him up. What's he going to look like? I think history would tell us to expect good things, but obviously we're going to find out. Father Time's undefeated. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm fired up for this one. I think it sets up for a really intriguing storyline.
Yeah. Should be very interesting. We'll come back. We'll get to the pregame show. Walks will join us, Oilers and the Islanders. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car. That's what profit shares look like for Vision Credit Union members. Each year, we return about 75% of our profits, $35 million last year, to the people who bank with us. Because at Vision Credit Union, when you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.ca.
Another season is upon us. The smell of locker rooms, hockey bags, pumpkin spice lattes, and burnt oil.
Don't let your vehicle get benched this season. Swing by Napa Auto Parts for top quality oils, parts, tools, and everything you need to keep your ride in winning shape for the games ahead. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough.
When the weather turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
The days are getting shorter, temperatures dropping. Time to take a good look at your furnace. Here's Dennis from Weiss Johnson with some pre-winter words of wisdom.
Don't wait. Get your furnace inspected sooner than later. Nothing worse than furnace issues when it's suddenly 40 below, right?
Absolutely.
And if it's time for a replacement, we offer the full line of energy-efficient Goodman furnaces. Your family will love the comfort, and you'll appreciate lower heating bills thanks to Goodman.
Weiss Johnson, your Goodman furnace experts for sales and installations. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Looking for the perfect used ride? Now's the time. Drive away for as little as $25 bi-weekly. Go Auto has over 7,500 used vehicles in stock with something for everyone. From budget-friendly cars and road trip-ready SUVs to powerful work-ready trucks. With around 70 locations across Canada, your next vehicle is closer than you think. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying for the first time, we've got the right ride at the right price. But don't wait. These deals won't stick around forever. Start shopping today at goauto.ca.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit titansupply.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better at On the Rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. pregame warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Touch base on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833-401-1440. Keep your home warmer and energy costs down with a Goodman furnace installed by the pros from Weiss Johnson. Visit weiss-johnson.com for your new Goodman furnace.
Pre-matchups are brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. For all your automotive needs, go to your trusted experts in high-quality parts, tools, equipment, and more. That's Napa know-how.
It's back. The world's best curlers are returning to this queue for the Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge. Join us October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center as top teams from around the globe battle it out for glory on the pebbled ice. Enjoy world-class curling and an unforgettable fan experience, all right here in our community. The Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge, October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center. Don't miss it.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian and 69-cent wings. Plus, you can play, score, and win every game. See more at ontherocksyeg.com.
It's the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Edmonton's only 24/7 sports station, Sports 1440.
All right, everybody, welcome in to the Sports 1440 studios, 4:30 on a Thursday afternoon. One of the major topics around the Oilers last couple of seasons, no surprise, has been the goaltending, namely Stuart Skinner. So here on the radio station, if you listen, the shows, the hosts, the listeners, the fans, everyone's been up and down this topic, right? Some people have already made up their mind. The funny thing is the Edmonton Oilers have not officially made up their mind yet. Like it or not, Stuart Skinner still has a little runway here and a chance to prove that he is indeed the answer in between the pipes come April and May. There's a lot to prove, though. No one's denying that. Tuesday night, that shutout over the Rangers to begin this road trip, it was a nice, tidy first step. But we all know where the eyeballs get really focused on Stuart is what he does for a follow-up, right? It's consistency that we talk about. So it's another big night for Skinner ahead as the Oilers get ready to face the Islanders tonight. Good evening and welcome. It's the Oilers and Isles at UBS Arena and on Sports 1440, the Titan Supply pregame show right here. Your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca. Over the next hour, we got, of course, the Jason Gregor Show we're taking over. So Jay sits in with us. We'll visit with Landon Ferraro, former NHLer. We'll hear from head coach Chris Knobloch, give you a chance to win $100 to the River Cree Resort and Casino as well. And the Weiss Johnson text line is open, 1-833-401-1440. How long? Well, how do I word this, I guess? No one's going to say, hey, I told you so. Look how good Stuart Skinner is. He had a shutout, even if he wins tonight. Like, this is a long, long road for him regaining some of that emotional equity, I call it, with the fan base. It's going to, like, for some people, we talked about this last game, it's going to be when Stuart Skinner lifts a cup. That might finally be the, okay, I guess he's the guy. Or, maybe it's having Vezina-esque numbers midway through the season. Like, I don't know where this goes, but I did feel like that was a big game for Skinner the other night. He's pretty good, legitimately stole the game. Oilers were just okay against the Rangers. But like I said, what do you do for a follow-up, right? A shaky night tonight, and the shutout never even happened.
Yeah, I think in the case of Skinner, if everybody the people that there are some people now that have just made up their mind that he's not the answer. And so and they'll just look for failure at any point, right? Stuart Skinner's going to have an off night. I'm going to tell you that right now. He might have a few off nights, just like, guess what? The Oilers skaters had an off night against the Rangers. But because it's a team and the goalie backs him up, no one ever looks at it that way, right? Like, that's just the truth. Yeah. And so now those same skaters had an unreal night against the Vancouver Canucks 2 nights earlier, where Calvin Pickard could have sat in a rocking chair and probably only allowed 1 goal, really. So, I think in the case of Skinner, I actually think 124 minutes and 58 seconds, he's been really good. He had 1 brain fart in 2 seconds, and you know what? That cost a game-tying goal. So it's not ideal. So you got to get rid of that. But overall, I think he's fine. Like, I always ask people, what's your expectation? What's realistic from Stuart Skinner? And to me, 2024 is a very realistic number to look at from Stuart Skinner. He was very good under Knobloch, and he had 2 bad games against Vancouver, and the other 21 he was really solid in the playoffs. Out-dueled Jay Gottinger. The Oilers were down 3-0 in the series, came back, got him to game 7, only allowed 2 goals in a game 7. I don't have much of an issue with a guy like that in his second year in the NHL. And I look at Sorokin. Everyone's like, they got to get Sorokin. He's struggling, right?
I was going to say,
Hellebuck struggles. Like, this position is so volatile. I don't know. Like, if I was a GM, man, I'd be hesitant to give guys long-term deals because I just don't
100%.
know. Like, there's maybe, and I still think Sorokin's pretty good, but there's maybe 5 or 6 goalies that I'd feel comfortable doing with. And like, I look at Dustin Wolf. I said it the minute he got signed. I'm like, why are they rushing to sign that guy? Because you know what's going to happen? It's his second year in the league, and lots of goalies, even good goalies who have long careers, that second year is tough. Mentally, you're like, okay, now I'm an NHL guy. You know, you're not as maybe fired up about it. The teams have infinitely more video on you now. And video coaches today, like, my God, video coaches, goalie coaches, they'll break down every little transgression of an opposing goaltender, and they find things to do. Then, not to mention, the Flames can't score to save their life. Right.
A lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure, and they're probably going to end up playing from behind walks. So now guess what? Now they got to take some chances, which means there's going to be more rush chances. And look at Wolf's numbers already to start this season. I think by the end of this year, Dustin Wolf will still be an NHL goalie, but his numbers won't nearly be as good, and you probably could have signed him for way less.
Well, if you're looking to sign a forward or a defenseman, right, and you're given term and you're given money, and okay, this guy's part of the core, we don't look at it the same way. It's not like, well, they signed Jake Wallman for 7 years, and if he can give us, 3 good years and 4 bad years, we're happy. No, of course not. You need him to live up to that contract pretty much every year. Goalies, like, let's look at Jacob Markstrom. Okay, so Jacob Markstrom, pretty consensus definitive top 10 goalie. Right?
Yeah, and he's up and down every second year.
Well, yeah. but like when you sign, I think his deal coming out of or going to Calgary was a 6-year deal, I want to say. There was a little rumor that the Oilers were flirting. It was never the case, but he came out of Vancouver, goes to Calgary, 6-year deal. GMs, when they sign a goalie, because, you need a goalie. We know that here. And when you sign someone like that to a 6-year deal, you are assuming 2 of those years are going to be off years. That's just what goaltending is.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's like
it's tough as a GM because you are committing all that money, knowing there's going to be a couple years that I'm going to want to tear out my hair. But that's better than not having a goaltender.
True. It's very true. And so that to me was, I look at like Stuart Skinner by NHL goalie development standards is extremely still young in his development. He hasn't even played 200 games. Like it
just so happens he's been on the biggest stage early. Right? Like there's no, it'll be interesting to see when he finally gets to the postseason or he finally gets to the second round or he finally gets to the final. No, whether he was ready or not, the team was. Right? So here we are, and the Oilers looking to win the West for the 3rd straight year. But it is funny, your point exactly. The guy, and I think for a lot of people, I would say even myself, right? Like, in terms of what is realistic, the Islanders are 0-3. I like a lot of what they have, but they're not ready to compete.
No.
They have Sorokin. I love Sorokin. He's a great goaltender. I think in terms of attainable pipe dream type goalies, I think most Oiler fans would say, well, what about Sorokin? And again, he's 0-3 with an .854 save percentage and a goals against over 4 to begin the year. Dreadful, but that's the position, right? You don't need a great goalie to win the cup. You do need great goaltending.
At times, right? Like I look at, Colorado won. They didn't have great goaltending, right? They had like 901 and 906, right? So other teams you need, I think, timely goaltending in a certain period. Because if you actually look in 2024, Skinner had a better save percentage in the Stanley Cup final than Sergei Bobrovsky.
Right.
And
down 3,
now,
1-3.
And save percentage is just one statistic. I get it. Right. And so, because the thing is, if you get blown out in one game, it can really screw all your numbers up. But it's only one game. Right. So that's
great goaltending. I don't mean you need a 950 or whatever, but there's a litany of goalies that are not Vezina type guys that end up winning the Stanley Cup. Colorado did it with them. I think Aiden Hill is that much better than a Stuart Skinner? Not really. The Blackhawks, they had great teams. They won with Corey Crawford and Antti Niemi, right? Like Crawford was a good goalie, obviously, but there's this idea now that if you don't have a Connor Hellebuck, you're sunk, and it's just not, the case.
Yeah. No, 100%. Well, hey, Connor Hellebuyck can sink you. Just ask Jets fans.
Sure.
You like good teams, you need a lot of different things. Like I always like to point out the Florida Panthers, who have won the last 2 Stanley Cups. When they started their Stanley Cup Finals appearances 3 years in a row, they did so after flaming out, finishing first, missing the playoffs, or not missing the playoffs, but losing the first round after being the President's Trophy, and then decided to sign their backup, who didn't have much experience, to $4.5 million because they weren't sure if Bobrovsky was good enough to get them there. And that's how quickly it changes, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, goalie Bob's like, well, you know what? I think I'll come back to being the guy who's
Bob used to be a punchline.
Oh,
he was a punchline at one point. It was known as the worst contract in hockey. Literally
for years. Totally agree.
Yeah. Now he's going to the Hall of Fame. Soft roll on the Weiss Johnson text line. Tim effing Thomas won a cup. He says, "Oh, Thomas was not in that category. He was unbelievable."
Tim Thomas,
it was a short time span, and he gets drafted by, I think the Nordiques drafted him. He has the goofy helmet and all that kind of stuff. He did not have a 15-year career, but when he was at his peak, Tim Thomas had maybe the best stretch of goaltending over those, we'll say, 3 years that we've seen since Hasek.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was over just like that, right?
Yeah, no, he was.
Now he's living in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, he was really good for the Bruins there for like a 4-year period, I think it was. And I know Oiler fans like, man, because he was property Oilers for a brief time, because he was drafted, I think, like late 90s, something like that, mid 90s even, and took forever.
Okay.
Like then he left and played in Europe multiple years.
Yeah,
right?
He came over late. I have a funny. Okay, so Tim Thomas. So I got my media career started years ago, and not started, but I mate a stop in Red Deer. I was young, right in my early 20s.
He was 31, really, when he became a regular NHL player.
He was drafted by Quebec, yes, and he was drafted to date him in the 9th round. Yeah. We only have 7 rounds now, right? So I'm working in Red Deer, and maybe some of these guys are even listening to the show today. So I played on a men's league media hockey team called the Red Deer Jets. And on the Jets, one of our players was a guy by the name of Jeremy Jablonski.
Oh, God, was he tough?
No, you're thinking of Jeremy Yablonski.
Oh, Jablonski with the J. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was a goalie. Jeremy Jablonski was a goalie. And he played in, I'm hoping I'm not speaking out of turn here. Okay, so Jeremy Jablonski was a goaltender, actually drafted by the
Oilers,
the Edmonton Oilers. Yes.
Right, okay.
And never played. He got injured. He never played, never even played pro hockey, but he was drafted in that 9th round, the same as Tim Thomas, 214th overall in whatever year that was, 1994. Okay. So we always joked that he was a huge bust because he was drafted 214th. So that's the 6th pick in the 9th round. Jablonski, goaltender, Victoria Cougars, goes to Edmonton. The goalies in that round after Jablonski, 4 picks later, Tim Thomas. 5 picks later, Johan Hedberg. 6 picks later, Evgeny Nabokov. And then later in that same round, Thomas Vokoun and John Graham.
Oh, my God. Order
Isn't that crazy? Wow. It's one of the best goaltending rounds in the history of the NHL. Yes. And our guy went before all those guys and he didn't even play goalie.
Well, what's funny is I'm looking at it now. Vitaly Yeremeyev, he went the first pick of that round, goalie. Then Frederick Kasivi.
He played a little bit.
Played like 13 games. Yeah. Jeremy Jablonski. Yeah, so that is crazy. That many
Jabber.
That many goalies.
The son of longtime MLA Marianne Jablonski.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Henrik Smangs also went before. So he was 1, 2, 3, 4. He was the 6th pick of that round, but he was the 4th goalie.
Yeah. And then again, I just can't get over it. 217, 218, 219. Thomas Hedberg Nabokov. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, Tim Thomas was an after that. We don't even have 9 rounds anymore. Back then we had 11 rounds.
Yeah. Fewer teams though, right? Because now there's 32 times 7. There's what is that? 218, 216.
Right. So it's you're right. It's not so the Mr. Irrelevant.
He'd still get picked today. 214.
Right. Mr. Irrelevant, the final pick in that draft, 286, and the 11th round was Kim Janssen.
The defenseman.
Yeah. Pretty good. Soft, but good player.
No.
Played 730.
Tricky Dicky, I think, was taken in that round too.
Dick Tarnstrom?
Was he not?
Yeah, by the Islanders.
Yeah.
I would have got this wrong. Guess how many games, maybe you're looking at it. Guess how many games Dick Tarnstrom played in the NHL?
I don't have it up. I know, like 400 or 500.
306. I would have said way more.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
He was a brief but shining light.
Must have been injured.
Yeah.
Right? I have to look up how many games some years he missed. Wow, that is a low number. I thought he would have played more than that.
Yeah. And then
It's
he
true.
was didn't play much in 06, but that was another one of the shrewd depth deadline
Well,
moves.
lots
one of
of-
the great deadlines of all time.
Like in the 1990s, you had lots of older European guys drafted in the later rounds, right? That became like Detroit feasted on those guys like Holmstrom and Datsuk and Zetterberg. And, well, Nick Lidstrom was a third rounder, but still teams used to feast on guys late in the rounds. European guys were a little bit older.
Especially Detroit. They had, what was the scout's name? Hakan Anderson.
Yeah.
And then
it was pretty sick.
Yeah. But also you can't hide anymore. Like even, Kopitar goes 11th out of Slovenia, right? You can't hide anymore. If you are good, the scouts will find you. All right, River Cree over under. So we talked about Sorokin. Sorokin's not getting the start tonight.
No.
It's Big Save Dave, as they love to call him in Calgary. I don't know if that moniker fits. The Oilers have certainly exposed him, former Flame, former King. So the Oilers, I don't want to say it's been a slow start for their offense. They're not giving up much, and they scored a number of goals, a couple empty netters. Some guys, Connor McDavid included, looking to get their first of the season. So we're going a really easy, simple, historic, old school over under tonight, and it's 3.5 total for the Edmonton Oilers. Will they light up Big Save Dave tonight? So will they score 4 or more goals? Over under for the River Cree Resort and Casino. This is how it works. Just send us a text 1-833-401-1440. Say over or under, and then if you are on the right side of this, you could win $100 to the River Cree Resort and Casino. We will name the winner in the post-game show immediately following this one. The River Cree Resort and Casino. Catch all your favorite sports, including UFC and boxing, live on the big screens, or Jay's playoffs at Tab 25 in the center bar. Visit rivercreeresort.com. What did you think of that Jays game last night?
Oh, it was unreal. Like, I'll tell you.
I didn't really see it coming.
Well, when they were down 2-0, they give up the 2-run home run in the first inning.
Good season, boys.
Yeah,
right?
a lot
Good
of people
season.
were probably, oh my goodness, this is over, right? For sure, you were. I was, I was driving home listening to the game, and I'm like, oh, God, that's not good.
No,
right? Then we have dinner, so not watching the game, and because my son's like, yeah, Dad, Jays are losing. It's not a good start, whatever. And I come downstairs. And literally, as I turned the TV on, like literally as I'm turning on, Jimenez is rounding first base on his home run. And I'm just like, Jimenez?
Yeah, 9
right?
hitter.
And so I yell upstairs to my son. He comes down, and then they score 3 more runs in the inning. And they're just like, oh, my goodness. And then, Guerrero goes straight away. Springer goes straight away. And you're thinking, oh, geez, like this, they're going to win the game, obviously. And then I really thought the Barger home run in the 9th was just like the perfect ending, because the guy hasn't had a hit all series. So now he goes home, and that like one hit can change everything, right? It's like a guy goes 15 games, doesn't score a goal, scores a goal, suddenly
always scores the next night.
Scores 3-4 goals the next 8 games, because all of a sudden you're like the gorilla's off his back. And we'll see. Now it's a new game, and in playoffs, that's what's crazy about it. But like, what do you think of Scherzer quickly? Like, what's happening tonight?
Well, the leash is going to be short, right? There's no way in the world that they're letting him face the order for a third time. I'm excited, right? I do think, is it a house money scenario? Not really, because you expected to be in this series. You have home field advantage, but I think a lot of people were kind of giving up last night. For Max Scherzer, this could easily, and probably will be his final playoff start in his career. Like I have this thing today. It's still Max Scherzer, right? Just one time, just dig deep and find it one time. Give me, vintage, Kobe Bryant in his last game, right? When he shot the ball 80 times, but he went off. Just give me that. Give me one Max Scherzer start. If you're looking for motivation, you got plenty of it. If you're looking for rest, you got plenty of it. Dude hasn't pitched for weeks. He had a rough end to the season. We all know that. Just give me something tonight, and they'll probably piggyback him with Eric Lauer. We'll see, but I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. Just reach back into that old Hall of Fame book of tricks and and give us 5 good innings. It'd be great. I was laughing at myself last night though, because baseball, I always say, is the hardest sport to be a smart fan of, because man, we talk all the time about Oiler fans freaking out, right? And it's a long season and settle down. Baseball's twice as long, right? So you cannot be reactionary or overreactionary in baseball. You just can't, right? You'll drive yourself crazy. But you get down to the postseason, and your sample size is so small, and the Jays are down 2-0, 1 loss, and it's virtually over. I found myself last night, like the second that Julio hits it out, I'm like, wow, there's the season. Bieber gives up that shot. Well, enjoy free agency, you loser. I was very reactionary last night. And
that happens.
Yeah, and then they
that's what sports
they
does.
came back.
But
yeah,
but
I'm pretty good that way. Baseball, just relax, buddy.
There's a reason it's called fans, because it's short for fanatical, and that's like, it's funny how traffic and sports. I'm trying to think of other things that can take sane, calm people from calm to just 10 on the red scale so quickly. Like traffic.
Yeah.
And sports.
Red line. When do you red line?
Like, if people I've seen and they're just losing it. Like, I don't, now sometimes it's funny. I think when I see people losing on, amateur refs, I have a real problem with that. But, if you want to sit in the comfort of your home and yell when your sports team loses, I'm okay with that. Like, you're not harming anyone, right? You're yelling to screen, you're venting. That's totally okay.
Yeah.
Now,
or over in England, when the national team loses and domestic violence goes up 25%, that's not great.
Yeah, no, that's obviously way too extreme. So,
that's just a little over the line on that one. Little over the line.
Yeah.
Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor. Yes. Will the Oilers score more than 3 goals tonight? Over under 3.5 is the River Cree over under. Okay, we'll take a break, I believe. Is that right? When we come back, Landon Ferraro on the other side, and we'll discuss these lines a little bit. New game, new look lines for the Edmonton Oilers, including one David Tomasic. Does he get off the schneid, his first NHL goal tonight? I think he might. It is the Titan Supply pregame show right here on Sports 1440.
Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough.
When the weather turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at TAP 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for Kids Sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
The new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com TitanSupply.com/events.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit TitanSupply.ca. You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
An electrical solar team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy: designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products, 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit TitanSupply.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are normally made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
Sports 1440 and the pregame show with Andrew Walker. We are Edmonton's sports leader.
Welcome back, Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, soon to be joined by our game day analyst, Landon Ferraro. Oilers and Islanders coming up at 5:30 this afternoon. The road trip continues. Oilers coming off that 2-0 win over the Rangers on Tuesday. It is the Titan Supply pregame show. The Weiss Johnson text line is open, 1-833-401-1440. Tiger says, I saw Landon on Gregor's show today. I thought he was a tall, slimmer guy with a head full of hair. He's not. He's not short.
No.
He is slim, very slim. Concerningly slim, actually. He's
I didn't think he looked that slim.
He's,
to me, he looks healthy. In our society, sadly, being healthy slim is now regarded as negative. That's a little bit.
Yeah, but I think he still wears his playing day suits when he was a thicker guy. So
so he just doesn't have a suit.
Yeah, now he's on the panel with Murph, and it looks like he's trick or treating.
What is he, Jason Strudwick in the ill-fitted suit? Like, that's no good.
I'm just joking. He does a great job. Landon Ferraro joins us now. Game day analyst, brought to you by Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, the used parts experts with province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton. Visit edsautosalvage.com. Although I can always tell, you got nice suits, but I can always tell when you get them from Murph's hand-me-downs, because Murph has like 300 suits. So, but I recognize him.
Oh, I won't lie. I've taken a couple of those.
Of course. I mean, who hasn't?
The guy's got good style. I'm not going to say he doesn't. And if he wants to throw a bone my way, hey, $3.99 is the way to go every single time.
What time were you on with Gregor? Usually.
What was that?
2:20. Yeah.
Okay. 2 hours ago?
2.5 hours. Oh, hey, this just coming down.
Welcome back.
Hey, this just coming down.
Okay.
Now they're saying Sorokin's leading the Islanders out for warm-ups.
Wow. Sneaky.
Big
save Dave got the Oiler flu, I think, tonight.
Oh, wow.
Well, how about that? 4 games in, we're already getting the bait and switch with the goalies.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I did want to talk about Sorokin because I think goaltending is a big topic. And I think if you ask most Oiler fans, and I'm no different, there's a lot of scenarios with goaltending that are unrealistic. But if there was one, quote unquote, big money goaltender that I think could be available and you might be able to maneuver some things around, eventually it's hard to look past Sorokin with the Islanders. They're 0-3. They're probably not going anywhere this year. I don't know exactly how the Oilers eventually fit it in, but most fans would say, well, what about Sorokin? But like we talked about, the volatility of the position, Sorokin's off to a miserable start, right? So, he's 0-3 with a no save percentage and a high goals against. So we get another look at him. But that's Landon. Anytime you're trying to fix your goaltending or acquire a goaltender, it's one thing to get a big name. It's another thing if they play well or not.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing with goalies in the NHL is the price tag. Obviously, it's important for cap reasons and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like, you have guys that are making $2.5-3 million that are having really good starts of the year and have had good years last year. You have guys like Sorokin that are making $8.25, and it's been a real struggle at points. It's such a finicky position. I mean, the hard thing there is like trying to project to what it's going to be. Go back a number of years, and Bobrovsky was a contract that not a lot of people were saying was money well spent.
Right.
And now years later, he's sitting there with 2 cup rings and was unbelievable through those playoff runs.
Gregor's reporting fake news, by the way.
Well, no, Stephen Rossner, who's a good friend of our show, he just said, sorry. He wrote,
he's back. Big Save Dave is back.
Yeah, he wrote Sorokin, but it's actually Rittich, which makes sense because Stephen had actually written a long article with quotes from Patrick Waugh about why he was spending time with Sorokin and how he needed to support his goal, and he was going to give him the night off. So I was like, oh, geez, maybe they changed
He would have been pissed. Yeah. I did all this work, all this story.
And Sorokin's probably like, I'm not starting tonight. And then all of a sudden you don't change. So there we go. So Stephen having some fun with that, getting people fired up. But it's actually a big, well, I don't know if they call him Big Save Dave anymore, but he's starting tonight.
I saw this on the text line. We got a lot of texts, so I got to go back. It was Kings fan here. We called him No Save Dave because he had a moment or two with the Flames over the Oilers, and then name a LA Kings goaltender the Leafs or that the Oilers haven't made their lives miserable the last 4 years. You can't find one. There's been about 10 of them. Darcy Kemper and Cam Talbot and Dave Rittich. The first
Phoenix Copley just got brought back as well.
The first year was Copley catching strays. The first year was still Jonathan Quick, actually, where the Oilers beat them in 7. Quick actually gave him a chance, and then every goalie since has been just a no-fly zone.
Yeah, the Oilers and Kings it's a matchup that obviously Oiler fans are happy about the majority of time. And, not that we need to get into playoffs last year, but like that was sitting there for them. And a couple tough decisions, one from the coach, a couple from players on turnovers, and all of a sudden you gave the Oilers a bit of life and they weren't giving that back.
They cannot meet again this year. There's no way. I don't love the Kings this year, but
it's kind of hard if the Kings aren't making the playoffs.
Yeah. Although, who knows? Maybe they're a wild card team and the Oilers finally put it all together and win the West, and it's a 1-8. But we'll see.
I'm not sold on the Kings this year.
I know they're objectively worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just looking at their D with the additions that they brought in, you already have a couple bigger stay-at-home defensemen that aren't exactly the most mobile, and then they go and bring in a couple more. Like, it's for how fast the game is being played now, it's tough to have a bunch of massive guys that don't move well. You put out McDavid or Draisaitl and some of these guys out against them, like eventually they're going to be able to make them have to turn their feet, and that's where they get beat.
I will say, not to talk too much about the LA Kings here, but when you go, Greg's and Landon, and look at, like, this year's important, but the next 2 years, the Oilers have a lot of flexibility to do whatever they want. And, I think if you're a fan, you say, well, maybe we get that guy or sign that guy. There's really no name or salary that's too outrageous.
Yeah.
If you dream it, they can do it.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Kings.
And
if there's
guy
one
I want,
player,
we are the same guy.
Adrian Kempe.
Oh
like
my
if there
God.
was one player, the
I would
Oilers
do anything.
could-
I would do anything.
He's a potential. Well, they maybe would. I don't think they'd ever trade him in the division. But man, if
But he's UFA, right?
Yeah, but if he doesn't sign, and I know that the Kings are obviously going to try to sign him, and most of the star players have always said this. Very few of them actually go to free agency, and with them losing Kopitar, I'd be stunned unless Kempe decides he doesn't want to. That's the only way he leaves, and it's a hard place to leave.
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, he's going to get the money. He's living on the beach. He knows the team, and lots of hockey guys naturally, and like human beings, if you like your place of work and they treat you well, it is hard for a lot of people to leave and go somewhere else,
But
especially to a rival.
you also, yes, true. But you also lose to the Oilers in the first round every year. He's been tied to Kopitar for years. Kopitar is moving on.
Yeah.
Doughty has X amount of years left. Man, if you could get Adrian Kempe, that's like my dream ad for the Oilers.
Yeah, I mean that would be a half decent one to pull in. Just like Greg was saying, like it's so hard to get a massive UFA now. Like especially with the cap going up, it's like there's too much money being put in front of them to where they're like, I don't like it enough to where I'm going to give up all this money and go to free agency, even though he would get paid wherever he goes. Just like you said, I mean, like my dad played in LA. I was a kid getting to live there. Like we went to the beach Christmas Day. It's a pretty good life down there. Like it's hard to pass up. But Byfield's seeming to take another big step this year. Like they have some pieces there, but at the end of the day, he would look pretty good in an Oil jersey. That's for sure.
It is the Titan Supply pregame show right here on Sports 1440, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca. All right, the lines brought to you by Nisku Ford. All this month, get rates as low as 0% or choose rebates as high as $10,000. Details at niskuford.ca. The Edmonton Oilers lines, they're looking a little different. We'll run through them. I know Gregor has on a show before, but Mangiapane stays up with Connor McDavid. We're going to see David Tomasic on that top line to start. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl, Jack Roslovic is your second line. Podkolzin, Frederick Kapanen stay together. And then you got Savoy and Ike Howard playing together with Adam Henrique in the middle. Those two guys did play a lot together in rookie camp and preseason. So there's your line. Skinner and Ned, obviously, then Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, Emberson. Tomasek up with McDavid and Mangiapane. Any thoughts there, Landon?
Yeah, I really like it. We were talking before, like the way that Tomasic has come over and started his season with driving the net, being in front and getting around it, but more even so, like going through the neutral zone, entering, it's not just the chip and trying to go get it. Like he's making plays and trying to make the hard play a lot of times. He's a pretty good size guy. He can stand over pucks. He's got a good set of hands, but we've gone through it a few times, but the part that I like the most is the way that he understands how to find the open ice in the offensive zone, whether that be right in front of the net and getting his backside into the defender's hands and starting to push. Now he's opened up a lane to get a pass, or sliding a little bit more into that bumper slot and finding that open space to get a shot off. Like he's found a way to, it hasn't gone in yet, but he's found a way to put himself in the place to get multiple chances a game. And I really think he's going to be a guy that will continue to grow through the season and keep getting better and better. But I've really liked his start, and I like the fact that he's getting a chance up with McDavid and Mangiapane. I think that looks like it should be a pretty good line.
Obviously, they didn't generate a whole lot in New York, Greg's. They didn't even get a power play. I would imagine, that's going to change tonight. But, Knobloch has always shown he's willing to throw things in a blender. I don't know if we'll see continuity until Zach Hyman gets back, to be honest. And, but there's so many new guys between Howard and Savoy and Mangiapane and Tomasek and now Roslovic, who hasn't even played. So, you need to give these guys minutes with the Oilers' top two centers just to see what the fit is.
Well, I think that they signed Tomasic for exactly what he brings, right? Big body, who's got some offensive acumen, strong in the puck. Like, look at all their other wingers. They don't really have a guy. Like, you can't have all your wingers be the same, right? I don't really care that he's not the fastest guy. He's not slow. He's just not, like, he's not a burner. So what, right? Like, Corey Perry scored 19 goals, wasn't a burner, right?
Yeah.
Pat Maroon scored a lot of goals, wasn't a burner. Like, the Islanders, do you think the Florida Panthers, like, is Brad Marchand a burner? No, not at all. He's had a great career. So Tomasic brings a different element, and his offensive acumen and how he sees the game, I think, is when it's going to get him a look. But he also showed at the World Championships, if you need him to play in a bottom six role, in the check-in role, he's comfortable playing there. So that he's got some versatility, which is what you need.
Yeah, that's where I see him too. I mean, maybe there's just one of these great chemistry type fits with one of the big guys, and you see him play a Hyman role later in the season. But I would agree, Landon. I think with a guy like this, big body, a little bit of scoring touch, can you find yourself part of a bottom six line eventually where you still have a big impact on the game?
Well, yeah, I think you can. I mean, if you look at, talk about when Hyman's back in the lineup, it could be Mangiapane, McDavid, Hyman. You could slide Podkolzin back up and go Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Roslovic. All of a sudden, now Nugent Hopkins is your third line center. Put him in with Frederick and Tomasic. All of a sudden, you're filling out a pretty deep lineup up front that all the lines can score. All of a sudden, there isn't an easy line for the other team to, you see that line go over the boards and okay, we can get a couple chances here. The Oilers have gotten much deeper, and I think we'll see more bottom six scoring this season out of this group because that depth and how much more skill there is within that as well.
Lawrence in a plumbing van on the text line, Weiss Johnson text line, getting back that goaltending conversation, says, I know it's just a pipe dream, but one can dream. Sorokin, in my opinion, is every bit as good as Bobrovsky at the top end of their games. It's a long deal. It's an expensive deal. We'll see. But yes, anytime there's a good goalie on a team that is perhaps competing for Gavin McKenna, you got to have that conversation. All right. Oilers, Islanders coming up as Landon Farrar joins us. Oh, Matthew Schaefer. How much forward are you looking to watching this guy?
I'm really looking forward to it, especially, I saw the list of guys he's already played in his very short NHL career so far. He's already hit Crosby and Malkin and Ovechkin, and now he's getting Draisaitl and McDavid. He's got the big names right away. He's played big minutes already. I'm curious to watch, just what his skating looks like when he's out on the ice against those guys. He's an exciting player. He's a guy that you imagine is going to be in the Norris talk in years to come once he gets more acclimated and his team gets better around him. He skates so well. He's already got a couple points this year. He's involved all over the ice. I'm just like any young player, it's always fun to watch them against a team that you watch a ton and know their tendencies and just trying to figure out and see what it looks like with him trying to get through that team.
Landon, thanks for this. We'll talk to you in the post-game show. You got feeling on Jays tonight? Hall of Famer Max Scherzer getting the start?
It's been a while since he got a start, but I have a feeling he's going to have an old school, he's angry out on the mound again and just pitching that way.
That'd be awesome, eh?
Oh, it'd be so fun to watch. The series has been good. I was out for dinner watching a bit of it last night, and unluckily the TV was behind my shoulder, and I look up and I see the first home run against. And you're like, all right, here this goes. And then all of a sudden I look up again, they're up 4-2. So I mean, it's nice that they're getting back into it, but it's a fun series so far.
Landon joins us for Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, the used parts experts with province-wide shipping, daily delivery to Edmonton. Visit edsautosalvage.com. All right, we'll talk to you in the post-game show.
All right, have a good one, guys.
All right, that's Landon Farrar. In case you missed it, the River Cree over-under, it's an old school one. It's a straight-up goal total with the Oilers light up big save Dave Rittich tonight. Over-under 3.5 goals. So If the Oilers can score 4, that's an over. And if they score 4, you would think with the way they've been playing, 4 goals should get it done for you against the New York Islanders.
This just in for Jays fans. Anthony Santander's season is over. Yeah, he's done. He's been pulled off the roster and being replaced by Joey Loperfido. So obviously his back is still giving him issues, and you had to pull him out. So he's done, because once you get taken off one roster, you can't play the next. You just can't play the next one. So he is out. Joey Loperfido is in.
Interesting. Well, was not a great first season for Santander with the Blue Jays.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah. Loperfido, and who knows? Get through the Mariners, and maybe you get Bo Bichette back in the next.
His last memory as a Jay was hustling around to ensure he scored before Kirk got tagged out at third base.
Right.
So
heads up play by Kirk.
Yeah, ends up in a positive.
Yeah. There you go. Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor. Okay, pregame show continues after this. By the way, you want to get on the River Cree over-under, just tell us over or under on the text line, 1-833-401-1440. We'll be back with more after this. Is the Titan Supply pregame show on Sports 1440.
Don't let scary high prices haunt you this October. At Nisku Ford, we treat you like family, which means no tricks, just treats. Come find a frighteningly good deal on a brand new Ford.
All October, finance and lease rates are as low as 0%. Or maybe you prefer rebates as high as $10,000. The Nisku Ford family will always dig deeper to find the best deal for your family.
The coffee's on. Drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations. Looking at the Alberta weather forecast, wild, unpredictable, brutally tough.
When the weather turns tough, Titan Supply doesn't back down. Titan Supply has been protecting workers from conditions like this for 50 years. We stand tall with you against the elements with the industry's best rigging, hauling, and lifting products to get you home safe. Tire chains, wire rope, round slings, chain slings, and a whole lot more. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary. Online at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
It's back. The world's best curlers are returning to Nisku for the Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge. Join us October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center as top teams from around the globe battle it out for glory on the pebbled ice. Enjoy world-class curling and an unforgettable fan experience, all right here in our community. The Grand Slam of Curling Go Up Tour Challenge, October 14th to 19th at the Silent Ice Center. Don't miss it.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen, as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise at tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Touch base on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833-401-1440. Keep your home warmer and energy costs down with a Goodman furnace installed by the pros from Weiss Johnson. Visit weiss-johnson.com for your new Goodman furnace.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money. Fluent? Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th. I'm sorry, I don't speak deals. Spend less, save more when you buy Round Black things from us. Oh, got it. Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about! Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in app.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit titansupply.ca.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcast with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth double E football coverage on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast, elksnation.ca.
Sports 1440 and the pregame show with Andrew Walker. We are Edmonton sports leader.
All right, the Oilers and the Islanders coming up just after 5:30. The pregame show, the Titan Supply pregame show, continues right here on Sports 1440. Your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca. Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. Donovan Paulson will be back in along with myself for the postgame show. We'll be on the air immediately following the Oilers and Islanders. You said in your little piece today on Oilers Nation, your game day piece, David Tomasic, you're feeling a first NHL goal. I'm with you, especially if they can get a power play, which they did not get.
Yes,
in New York.
Yeah, no, and he's playing with McDavid, so it's a double whammy. And the Islanders' penalty kill is 70% early on, so there's a lot of reasons. I actually liked his game against the Rangers. I thought he was one of the better skaters for the Edmonton Oilers, and you know what? We've seen his offensive creativity on the goal by Draisaitl. He probably should have had a few goals, let's be honest, against the Vancouver Canucks. Like Demko robbed him a few times.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know, he's shown he's been in the right position. What I really like about his game is he's different than some of the other forwards, and he's able to use his big body to create space for him to get into a good shooting position. That's what I like. And he's around the net, Walks, because in my article, it talked a lot about how the Oilers, they don't really go to the net much. They don't have a lot of net front presence, not a lot of deflections. And if you look at the statistics on that, it goes up significantly when you have whether it's a defensive screen, because if you go to the front of the net, usually the opposing team's defenseman has to go with you too. So there's a chance he might inadvertently screen his own goaltender or get in his eyes, is what they like to say now, right? Like just, have a drive-by shooting, whatever you want to do, wheel by just as the time of the shot goes so the goalie can't see where the release point. Because I've talked to NHL goalies. If they see where the puck is coming off a stick, they kind of know, okay, you play the odds sometimes on where you think the puck's going to go, right? And that's how a lot of times they're playing it. So if you can't see it, they say that really puts them in, and now you're fighting to try to react to it. And the Oilers still, I don't think, have enough of that. I get it, it's 3 games, but I'd argue this has been something that's been gone on for more than 3 games. This is This is an issue last year. They led the league in expected goals and shots on goal. And where did they rank in shooting percentage? 27th. Where'd they rank in goals? 5-on-5, they're 14th. 14th, despite having all the shots and all the offensive possession time. So what are you doing? Like, why is that acceptable? I don't get it. Like, I'm always amazed by, you make one defensive miscue and, man, you are ripped apart. But, oh, geez, like, hey, the guy didn't finish his chance, wasn't a good shot. Oh, that's okay. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, listen, the offense is due for a bit of a breakout, but you're right. Last year, it was, and again, it speaks to, it's not being hypercritical. It speaks to the floor of this team. The floor is exceptionally high, right? Probably the same with the Panthers, right? They lose Barkov, they lose Tkachuk, they'll be fine. They'll make playoffs.
Yeah.
Like the Oilers' floor is so high because last year the offense never got on track ever, right? There was injuries and Hyman was out and McDavid was out for a little bit and the new guys didn't do anything. Leon Draisaitl carried this team. He was still my Hart winner last year for my money. Leon Draisaitl should have won the Hart Trophy.
I thought so. Yeah. I think the fact
people didn't realize he carried this team.
He totally did. I think the fact that he got that injury and missed 11 games is probably what. Otherwise, I think he would have won the Hart.
And the offense never really got on track. It never turned into, oh, like, God, they're gonna score another 5 or 6 tonight. And they didn't really find their game until pretty much game 3 or 4 against LA. And even then, I don't know if it was their game necessarily. Like, that wasn't necessarily their identity. They just figured this out and played out of their minds for about a month and a half and made the Stanley Cup final. So we're only 3 games into the year. Wolf goalied them pretty good. Demko definitely goalied them, and they didn't generate a whole lot last night. So
no,
it's something to watch, right? It's something to watch. McDavid still doesn't have a goal, and I know there was a lot of over/under bets on McDavid to at least score his 35 to 40 this year, talking about how he wanted to shoot more. So we'll see. It's been a bit of a slow start offensively, and all that said, Oilers are 2-0-1 and a chance to get going tonight.
Well, that's the great news for Edmonton is that defensively in games 1 and 2, that they were excellent. Their goaltending was outstanding in game 3. And so their offense has yet to get on pace. Now, do I think they're going to score more goals?
The power plays look good.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah. 22% is fine. But their offense really hasn't got on track yet, especially 5-on-5, other than the third line. So do I think it's going to come? Yes. And that'll lead them. But just because it comes because they start scoring some skill goals doesn't change the fact that they still need more consistent presence around the net.
Sure. Yeah. No, I would agree with that. The matchups brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. For all your automotive needs, go to your trusted experts in high-quality parts, tools, equipment, and more. That's Napa know-how. How the Oilers match up with Matthew Schaefer tonight. We talked to Landon a little bit about it. I know it's really easy to say, this year's draft, it wasn't a deep draft, wasn't a great draft. There's always good players. And I truly believe, now I'm no expert, I truly believe that Matthew Schaefer is a number 1 is no less than any number 1 of any other year. I think that guy's a legit, unbelievable player. And yeah, is there a drop off after that? What does Misa turn out to be? What does Frondell turn out to be? Go down the list. I think Schaefer's a heck of a player. And we just didn't get a lot of viewing of him last year. I think he is. Nobody is Cale Makar, but he's a Cale Makar light. That guy
he's bigger than Makar, right?
Good,
that's the one thing he has that.
And he's cocky,
right,
which is a compliment.
Yeah, but see, I think he's really confident because he's such a very grounded, very mature. Unfortunately, I think when you lose a parent at that young of an age, you probably just have to mature a little bit more than you would like maybe at that time. The thing about Schaefer is he's such a good skater and he's a big body, right? Like we see Hughes and Makar, even Lane Hudson, although he's even smaller, there's some deficiencies when you're that small in defending. It's just harder.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm 6'3" and you're 5'10", I cover more ground. It's just that simple. Right. And if we're equal skaters and Schaefer is like, there's not many guys that maybe go laterally like Makar and Hughes, but man, I've talked to a few scouts and like Schaefer in a few years, people be talking about him. Like they think he skates very similar as a dominant defenseman. People have mentioned Bobby Orr to me. Just now, not saying it's going to be Bobby Orr, but just his skating ability.
He might be the perfect hybrid because a guy like Makar and even Hughes, I mean, I give Hughes all the credit in the world for his ability to defend, but he's never going to, like, he's on the ice all the time, but he's never going to be a shutdown guy. But then you have the big bodies, right? Like the uber prospects. Hedman was one of them. Larson was one of them. Owen Power is kind of one of them. Those big guys, even Hedman, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Hedman wasn't Hedman for at least a few years, right? It takes time to grow into that wingspan. Schaefer has that type of size, maybe not Hedman size, but but he also has the offensive flair of a Makar and a Hughes. Like, to marry those two together, I don't know, man. Like, people salivated over Power. Schaefer's better than Power.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
right. Well,
I feel bad.
It's looking
he's
that
not.
way.
He's
like,
not. Power's also not in the right city to develop. I think we've learned that. So
yeah, it'll be. Yeah. I'm fascinated to see what happens in Buffalo moving forward. Fascinated. It's like, I know they won last night. Thank goodness for them. They scored 7 goals, right? So that was good. But it's one win. I'm not sold yet that everything is fixed for the Buffalo Sabres.
It's tough because you look individually. There's a lot of good players there. Right. And we talked about it. We talked about it here.
A lot of young players.
A culture of losing. Right. But all of a sudden, like, because all the guys they've lost and have gone on to very good success, like cup winning success, Eichel, Reinhart, they're moving off of the wrong guys. And so now it's like, how do you, Tuck is not a franchise guy. I think he'd look great in Edmonton. I agree with everybody else. But, with Rasmus Dahlin and Tage Thompson, and like, how do you, they already moved off of Peterka this offseason trying to, change some stuff up. I don't envy the situation. That's for sure.
No, it's, it'll be hard for them. And I just think you have to have the right guy making the decisions and know what they're going to do. Right. Like, if Tage Thompson says he wants out, oh my God, there'll be a long list of teams. That's $7.1 million for 4 more years after this year. Would be.
And what does he do? He scores goals.
Oh God.
Right.
Yeah.
He scores goals, which is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
Connor, I totally forgot about coach audio. Let's hear from Chris Knobloch here. Let's do like your first and second clips, actually, brought to you by Vision Credit Union, investing 100% in Alberta, giving back to the communities they serve. VisionCU.ca, just moments away from puck drop. So let's hear from the head coach on what they can build on after that 2-0 shutout win 2 nights ago against the Rangers.
A lot of things. I think we got a lot of room to grow. The other night I thought we didn't spend much time in the offensive zone. I didn't think we made enough plays entering the offensive zone, turning it over. Obviously we want to be making plays. We want to get it to a shooter off the rush, but if it's not there, we're going to make a better, safer play. So we can spend some time in the offensive zone, because I think we are a pretty good team when we do have control of it. And we weren't in that position, and we were allowing the Rangers to make plays, and we had to defend. And I thought we did a pretty good job defending, but just like to do it less.
All right, so there's Chris Knobloch, and the other clip is on the lines. As mentioned, the only line that stays intact is the Podkolzin and Frederick Kapanen line. The line's brought to you by Nisku Ford, and they've moved it around a little bit. Tomasek is up with McDavid and Mangiapane, and then Roslovic and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins playing with Leon. And then you got Savoy, Henrique, and Howard on that fourth line, if you want to call it that. So here is Chris Knobloch on the changes and what to look forward to.
Yeah, things have been switched up just because I'm getting used to the players. We've got a big turnover at forward. I believe 5 new forwards to our group. So we're finding out where guys fit and giving some guys opportunities to move up in the lineup and play. And And obviously the Connor and Leon been together to start, and then we just moved it away from in the third period. So there's been some switching, and there'll be probably a lot more throughout the season, especially until Hyman gets back.
All right, Chris Knobloch, brought to you by Vision Credit Union. We'll hear from him again in the post-game show coming up. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, because it's a busy night. Brought to you by the Pallet Recycler. Panthers, Devils. Florida's up 1-0 early. Colorado, Columbus play tonight. They're scoreless. The Jets have a 1-0 lead on the Flyers. Sens up in the Kraken 2-1. The Leafs have an early lead on the Rangers. Preds and Habs as well scoreless. A busy night, because still to come. Canucks, Stars, Penguins, Kings, Bruins, Vegas, and then Carolina and Anaheim. And of course, Thursday nighter, you got the Steelers.
Will there
and,
be
Bengals.
2 undefeated teams at the end of tonight? Dallas.
Who's undefeated?
Dallas and Carolina. That's it. They're both 3-0. They're both Dallas is at home to the Canucks. Carolina's on the road in Anaheim.
I can't pick winners. Carolina did play last night, or did they? No, Anaheim played last night. Yeah, Carolina's actually really good, and no one really believes in them because they get to a certain point and they max out. Carolina's pretty good. Although I'm high on Anaheim.
Yeah,
very high on Anaheim.
It's funny in the NHL. Like last year, only 2 teams went 4-0. Right,
And one of them was Winnipeg,
and the other was the
Flames.
Flames.
Right?
Yeah,
8-0,
8-0 for the Jets. So we'll see. There's only 2 teams at 3-0 left, so we'll see if they can get to 4-0.
You know who looks good in Anaheim? That in hindsight,
Chris Kreider.
Yeah, we never talked about the potential fit for a Kreider in Edmonton, but he looks rejuvenated, man.
And you also see the report out of Buffalo today?
No.
Alex Tuck pausing contract talks.
Oh, yeah, no, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
it's just a matter of where
yeah,
he goes.
100%.
Yeah, so you got Pittsburgh, Cincy Thursday nighter, and then of course first pitch Jays and Mariners 6:30, just a little after 6:30, I believe. So we'll keep you updated on that.
6:38 is
if the
first
game is still going in the post game show.
It'll be going. Yeah,
all right.
You guys are on post game around 8 bells, give or take, 8:15.
6:30. Yeah. Yep. About 8. Yeah. So it'll be going. It'll be a distracted post game show here in the studio. So
you do the show and then watch the Jays game at the same time.
Well, if it's like
if
it's playoff baseball, it's like 3-3 and every pitch matters. I don't know how effective I'll be breaking down Oilers Islanders. I'll be honest. This has been the Titan Supply pregame show, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit TitanSupply.ca. I believe Connor Halley has it the rest of the way.
Connor Halley is running the show the rest of the way.
All right. We'll talk to you in the postgame show. Have a good evening.
I'm Gene Principe for Legacy Heating and Cooling. If you need a furnace this Halloween, it'd be a grave mistake not to call Legacy. Call Legacy. Need repair? Revampire your furnace. Just call Legacy. Call Legacy. Legacy has a skeleton of furnaces in stock. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Plus, no interest and no principal payments for 1 year when you buy with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
The madness continues at the Brick. Get your home ready to host. Save up to $1,200 on Made in Canada sofas and sectionals, up to 30% off coffee tables and nightstands, and up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Buy more, save more, up to $1,000 off appliances. Hockey season is here, and so are big savings on big screen TVs. Save up to $800, plus get free local delivery on screens over 50 inches. The Brick, saving you more.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, 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 nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 Oodle noodle noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Game on. Sports 1440 is your front row seat to the wild world of sports. Local legends, national headlines, and everything in between. Your game, your station. This is Sports 1440.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
When it comes to choosing a hair clinic, the difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. Transforming how you feel about yourself is a very personal experience, and I'll work directly with you every step of the way.
Physicians come from all over the world to learn from Dr. Elliott.
When your personal goal is to help other people achieve theirs, you must deeply understand the latest treatments.
Want to feel confident and comfortable? The difference is in the doctor.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott at drvanceelliott.com.
At the Nissan All-In Clearout, there's nothing more chill than financing an award-winning Nissan for just 0%. Enjoy the soothing relaxation of zero stress, zero worries, zero indecision. During the Nissan All-In Clearout, get 0% financing plus up to $500 bonus on some of our best-selling models. You have zero reasons to wait. Conditions apply. See your local Nissan dealer today.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
542. Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440. Also streaming on Sports 1440, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you here, wrapping up the show. We don't have too much time, so let's get right into it. The Cantork Racing Report brought to you by Cantork.
That's me.
Hey, Colin, what's the best way to beat the tariffs?
Why don't you buy stuff that's made, engineered, assembled, and tested right here in Edmonton?
Not only Canada.
By people who care.
What's the website?
www.cantork.com.
Before we get into the race report here, quick birthday shout outs in order, I think.
I know I got one. I got my son Parker 26 today.
To be 26 again.
Man, oh man. He carries it well. He's a really good kid. He's becoming at least the voice of Cantork in the background. He's the one that answers the calls, and for some reason, the customers seem to like talking to him more than me. I don't really know why that is. But
family business then, hey?
It is now, yeah. Yeah, no, he does a good job. So, yeah, happy birthday, pal.
Better quickly shout out my sister. She's in Australia and probably not listening.
Oh, but she's absolutely listening.
But the chance that she is, Megan, happy birthday. So let's get into it here. I got the talking notes here. The one thing that stood out, we've got some WhatsApp drama here right now. That sounds like something in high school that might happen, not at the Formula One level.
Yeah, a little bit more. We talked the last kind of 2 weeks, a little bit last week on the legal battle between McLaren and Alex Palou. McLaren is seeking reportedly $21 million in damages. Palou signed a contract to drive with McLaren, then figured out that McLaren kind of used him as a stalking horse in a lot of ways, that they ended up signing Oscar Piastri to drive for their F1 team, where it seemed like Zach Brown, his big pitch to Palou was that, okay, listen, you're going to start with our IndyCar team, but we'll move you up to F1 because we need somebody that's going to be quick right away along Lando Norris. When they figured out that, after he had signed a deal with McLaren, that they kind of pulled the Piastri deal, then he reneged on his deal with McLaren, went back to Chip Ganassi. Again, he's now a 4-time IndyCar champion, but they're saying, and there's evidence that shows that a lot of their negotiation was done on WhatsApp using disappearing messages. So a lot of the stuff has been eliminated. There's a lot of talk that, Piastri, he's not really being treated all that well in all of this, because it seems like, from one of the reports, that somebody else had signed him without, basically that he wasn't Zach Brown's first choice. He's already kind of been pushed to the side in a lot of ways, in preference of Lando Norris. So there's going to be a lot of turmoil behind the scenes. We got another race this weekend. Even though Piastri's had a couple of bad races in a row, at least by his standards, he hasn't really lost a lot of ground. Verstappen won a race, but, Piastri didn't do that bad. Last weekend, Verstappen finished on the podium. Norris finished on the podium. Piastri finished right behind. So, he's managed to keep it close. This is going to be more of a conventional race. They're at Circuit of the Americas this weekend down in Austin. It is a purpose-built racetrack. So this is going to be the first time in a while. The last 2 races were street races. This is going to be way more indicative of what, if the changes that Red Bull have made actually translate to other things. And to find out, the McLarens kind of struggled a bit in the early practice sessions. This is going to be a sprint weekend, so they only get 1 practice session, then go into sprint qualifying, then blah, 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 big mess. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Now, with George Russell's win earlier this month in Singapore, that's good. Winning helps you when it comes to new deals on leverage.
Correct. Yeah, they were really dragging. Toto was kind of known for procrastination, kind of plays chicken with his drivers to, get them for as low as possible. But with Russell putting the icing on the cake at Singapore, he was able to go back to the table and say, look, this is what I've done. My quote just went up and it's going to keep going up. You better sign me. So reportedly, it's only supposed to be a 2-year deal, which seems like he might just be keeping that seat warm if they can actually attract Verstappen in 2 years. Reportedly $40 million. I don't know if that's per year, if that's over the course of the deal. Still a really nice contract.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that plays out in the towards the end of this year, and then when we get the new car next year.
Colin Livingston joining us here in the Cantor Racing Report here on the Jason Gregor Show. Connor Halley sitting in to wrap up the show. Now this weekend, Circuit of Americas. Who are you feeling? Who are you liking in this race?
You always have to take the momentum. Like, realistically, my brain says go back and look at last year. Well, Ferrari was still in the hunt last year. Leclerc won. Then the week after, Sainz won in Mexico. Boy, that would really, really, really be unlikely to see back-to-back Ferrari wins. Ferrari's shown pace. They've shown through practice and through even, last race at Singapore, they were quick in Q1. They were quick in Q2. But again, their strategy failed them, where they put Lewis out on the wrong tire. They put him out at the wrong time, and he never really had a legitimate shot to do anything. So it seemed like within Ferrari, they've got a lot of work to do to make sure that, their car is able to run. I mean, the battle really should, no disrespect to Mercedes, but the battle will likely be between Verstappen and the two McLarens. But if somebody else could get into the mix and make it a little bit more interesting, that'll make the race a whole lot better to watch. I mean, weird timing this weekend because back in North America. So I think practice 1 tomorrow is like after lunchtime or something like that. And then I didn't look at all the times, but they're going to be afternoon to watch F1, which is really strange because usually I'm watching it at like 4 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
1,300 hours is the race time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Eastern or local time.
That would be our time because I think that's from the thing I sent you. It converts back to your local time on the F1 website. So
okay, well, that's it. That technology that they have. Now, also, you sent me another graphic here.
Yeah.
$3.5 million can go a long way. In the world of F1, what else can that get you? So
$3.5 million is still, if you relate it back, I've got hockey sitting in the peripheral vision here. $3.5 million buys you a decent hockey player for a year.
Yeah.
$3.5 million in the CFL. I mean, that's got to be the majority of a team budget.
It's a good year.
$3.5 million in Formula One is what a driver that most people will never have heard of paid to do an FP1 and 2 other test sessions. So to get into to a race spec F1 car and to do that was $3.5 million. An FP1 session is 60 minutes. Now, of course, there's seat fitting and there's some time in the shop where you have to learn all the buttons and blah 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 blah, and there's simulator time and all the rest. But still, $3.5 million. That's the budget for approximately 7 full-time NASCAR Canada teams to run.
That's crazy.
I mean, but teams like McLaren in F1, you have to put a rookie driver like an F2 driver or someone from a related series has to do, I can't remember the number, it's like 6 FP1 sessions throughout the year.
Yeah.
So you have to make your car available for that. Now it's up to the team if they want to take one of their up and coming drivers and get them, a little bit of experience and exposure, or do they open it up and do this, essentially car rental, because they've got a big sponsor, they want to show what they can do, and maybe it catches some eyes. Awful lot of money, $3.5 million for an hour.
Hey, if you've got the money, why not, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you can't just go to a team and rent a car and say, look, hey, I want to do a test session at Silverstone, Mercedes, have Toto out at the track and have, George Russell be my driver coach. And, I want to run for half a day. Like it's just not possible. So, whether it turns into something or not, it'll be interesting, but we see that Mick Schumacher, did his test at Indianapolis. Even if he had to pay for that test, it would have been a fraction of that kind of money. And, he would probably have to bring somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 to $5 million to a team to run an entire season of IndyCar at a very high level, like, including the Indy 500 and all the rest. So interesting how some of these people choose to spend their money.
Colin, thanks for doing this today. We appreciate you accommodating us. Pregame, of course, kind of took the regular spot, but we'll do it again next week.
Always look forward to it, man.
There you go. Cantor Racing Report with Colin Livingston. That music means we are done. Big thank you to our guest today. Of course, Andrew Gross from Newsday. We talked a little Scotch whiskey at Thirsty Thursday with Stephen Landon Ferrara when we had pregame in there as well. Go check it out on the podcast. Google, Apple, Spotify, wherever it is, if you missed it. Right now, though, let's wrap up the show. Before then, we'll hand things over to Declan Kruger in a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate GMC, Buick GMC. In October, Northgate GM helping feed families. For every truck sold, they'll feed a family of 4. Farmers and small business owners get preferred rates in the month. Northgate, this truck's for you. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Scores around the majors in the CS series. Brewers and Dodgers currently tied 1-1 in the bottom of the sixth. Jays and Mariners will be in action at 6:33. Scherzer on the bump for the Jays in that one. Scores around the NHL. See the Maple Leafs leading the Rangers 1-0 at the end of the first. Senators lead the Kraken 2-1 at the same mark. And the Blue Jackets and Avalanche, Preds and Canadians all tied up 0-0 at the end of the first in their games. The Edmonton Oilers, 7 minutes to go here in the first period. That game currently tied 0-0. The shots currently 4-2 for the New York Islanders. Steelers and Bengals will kick off in about 19 minutes time here in Thursday night football. The Bengals sitting at 2-4 at home. Steelers 4-1 and 2-0 on the road. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.